need 45 seconds to get out of the rig.
He did it through utility.
Old Wakey has not though. Old Wakey is straight to the fence, and Stickers might take advantage here. There's damage on Old Wakey's car.
What is he doing? Oh boy! Oh, big crash. Huge crash. Glasses into him. Glasses into him.
Less than a second away from the podium.
It's not over till it's over.
Get the drive. Who's it gonna be? There's the drive. Oh my god! He gets it. Does he get it? He goes into the lead. Oh my god! Oh, that is absolutely incredible. Oh boy!
He's too deep. Oh, he's in him. Oh, it's drama. Drama. Oh. He's gone for a move very opportunistic. Oh, that came out of nowhere from Morgan Davis.
The battle back for second is an absolute hot rocket. Oh, there's a big tap from Racebeard. Wakey Racebeard's to the wall. But he's recovered straight away. That butt was so lucky. We'll get a quick
Welcome everybody, we are live tonight for the final night of Season 6 with the Supercars. This is Sector 1 of course, joining us tonight in the foothills of Italy. It's an absolutely beautiful island, Sardegna. The weather's good, the grass is green, it's been very, very peachy on this side of the fence, and we are looking to kick off the second last stream of this complete and utter carnage fest filled ball of fun that we call Sector 1, but we'll leave that there for now. We'll talk about what's going on later in the season, but of course we do need to get into our track choice. We've got Sardegna. Here's 15 corners. It is the A format that we are using. We have previously raced on B and C, racing soft tyres, 15-minute quali, 50-minute race, and of course this track can hurt. We saw last week quite a few of the big names had big incidents, and it's going to be an absolute slobber knocker of a fest tonight, especially with Group B, and they do not fail to impress at all. So looking very much forward to seeing what we have in store. We'll just jump across to our points. There we go. For the Division 4 group, of course, the first cab off the rank, Rex leads the championship at the moment, 186. He's clear of Peteypops by 24 points. He only needs 8 more points. So barring divine intervention, Rex possibly has one hand and 3.5 fingers on this title. Malevolent One, of course, is still technically involved in the championship fight, but he's going to need Peteypops and Rex to have absolutely monumental failures to take the chocolates for tonight. So let's get into it. Joining me in the box tonight for the second time, first time leading the charge, of course, Graham, aka Guru, our runner-up of the Division 3 season. How are you tonight, Graham?
Yeah, really good. Glad to be here. Quite honestly, I'm glad I got this round out of the way for myself last week. Very, very fast track. You've got to be technically perfect in some of the corners, especially turn 13, which was my nemesis. But really looking forward to seeing how these guys go and some close racing. Yeah,
agreed. And I've seen from my travels last weekend, I kept a close eye on Division 1 and Division 3, and it ended up being an absolute brawl out there. So I'm pretty thankful I wasn't out there. Speaking of who's around, Shizer's in the house. How are you, Shizer? We've got Bumcrack, Scotty NZ, VF. Dadson's already renamed his account the Prospector. Carbon Boy, of course, is in the he's in the Deeds garage. You there, Carbon Boy? Are you on the radio? No, he might not be there. I think he's hiding. Anyway.
Do I really want to be on the radio when I'm acquiring beer out of your team's garage?
Get out of our fridges, damn it! Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I think it's time that we got into some qualifying. So, Graham, if you want to hit the big red button and we can go straight into the action, of course. And make sure, guys, that you like, if you do like the subscribe, I always get this wrong. If you want to get involved in Sector 1, more than welcome to. Jump into our Discord, say good day, have a chat. Smash that like button for the last round of the last night of the last round, of course. And also, just get involved in the chat. Banter's good. It was flowing last week, which is great news. So, as we...
All right, we're off and running.
Yep, as we get into our runners for tonight, and we're just waiting for them to leave the pit lane. It is a slightly longer pit lane, of course. So, first charger is, of course, Peteypops. He is looking to make sure that he causes as much chaos as possible for our championship leader, and he's going to need something completely and utterly big to go his way. For Doghouse, it's been a fantastic season for Peteypops. He's really come of age in the Aston Martin, and he's looked very, very strong at races. Had his first maiden win of Sector 1. He's done a fantastic job. Just behind him, we've got Debrev for racing cars like Legends in the Gamesman livery, of course. And Debrev, he's taken big strides this season. We saw him on the podium the last couple of rounds, and now he's got the black livery on, so he's hoping to just slip in undetected. Keza, of course, for Ragged Edge Racing, and this is going to be a big, big night for Keza. He's looking to finish off with a bang. The Aston Martins of Ragged Edge have really sort of dropped off in form a little bit towards the back end of the season, and it's been a bit of a struggle for them. Dazza for Locked Up Motorsports in the Chevy Corvette, and he'll be looking forward to a very big night. Still got ECU issues, of course, and he's been on the pace. We saw at Road America. He can definitely hang with the likes of Rex and Peteypops, so he might just provide a bit of a wild card. Our final championship contender at the moment, the Malevolent One for my squad, Deeds Racing, of course, and he is going to need divine intervention. He's going to need something to happen to Rex and to Peteypops, so if you're listening up there, the old man upstairs, if you're listening, please disconnect Rex and Peteypops. And last cab off the rank, of course, we've got Womble, who's just kindly sitting in the pit lane at the moment. He's the team leader, of course, for Red Mist Racing, so not sure why he's not out in the pit lane at the moment, but yeah, that's a pretty wild grid at this point. So we might jump on board real quick with one of the guys. We'll jump on board with our championship leader, Rex, as he goes into turn 1. Sardegna, of course, one of the very favourite tracks in terms of the sprint racing. It's been carnage filled, was probably the best way to say it was in the very short track. Goes across into turn 3. The old way you go left, but there's a giant big barrier as you come into turn 4. You turn onto the right, and then you put the foot down. And this is one of those very stop-start style tracks. Bury the foot. Make your way up to turn 5. And this is where a corner where a lot of people have been having a massive amount of trouble in terms of keeping the car on the straight and true as they go through the turn 6 kink under the Polyphony Digital Bridge. Lots of power you're going to need going uphill to through the turn 7 kink. Hard braking for turn 8. Make sure you pull it up a little bit sooner. Very easy to understeer and clip the wall. And you also want to make sure you don't clip the grass, as Malevolent One, as you see, just oversteers on the exit. Goes through.
Rex had a really good apex through there.
He did. He looked very, very strong. Up to turn 10. And that was another corner where a lot of people had issues. Going wide onto the grass and flinging into the wall. They want to be very, very cautious of that. Braking into turn 11. Same thing again. Very easy to understeer. Go wide. Bury the foot as Peteypops does a 1:42.3.
That's a good starting lap.
That is a good starting lap, and Rex, I think he might just have something to say about it. He's got a great toe off the Dodge Viper. No, and there he goes, P2, and he's 7/10 of a second behind. What a time by Peteypops. But in terms of housekeeping, I have seen Rex go significantly faster than that. So, any surprises at the moment, Graham? Is there anyone you're keeping your eye on for this particular event?
I think it could be any one of 4 of them. I'm just watching Poppers. He's a bit slower through the first split on this lap. Keza was very consistent through the practice before the main race started. So, but yeah, and with Dazza, he's very quick as well in the lobby earlier on. So no, it's any one of 4.
So Womble has made his way out into the track now on his outlap, and you can see on the back of that BMW M4 he's got a thank you Sector 1 decal set on the where the number plate should be. So no, big thank you to everyone that's been involved for Sector 1 this season, and especially to the team owners, livery lords, administration, and especially to everyone that's been tuning in. It's been an incredible season, to say the least. As Womble's going to start his first lap.
Rex is on a flyer. He's purple, 0.255 up.
Jump on board now.
2 corners to go.
Jumping on board now with the Red Mist Racing Mustang. Pulls it very tight. He's got such good turn-in on the front of that Mustang, and it's been the surprise packet of the season. Everyone sort of overlooked it as that little child they didn't like, and despite the fact that it shares a similar fuel usage with the Corvette, it's still been a very quick car. Stazza does 1 minute 43 flat, and Rex, look at that, goes straight to the top with a 42.258, and look at the split between himself and Peteypops.
There's nothing there.
7/10 back to Dazza at this point. Was not ready for that. This might be another little bit of a dogfight between Rex and Peteypops here, and I think it's going to take something Herculean here to happen for Peteypops to win this championship at this point. But he's a second down, so he's not really making hay while the sun shines, so to speak. As we jump on board with Dazza, who's half a second behind. And a lot of people in the chat we're just seeing at the moment. It's fantastic to see a lot of people getting involved in the stream. It's been fantastic to see over the whole season, to be honest. The amount of chat, the amount of banter, and the amount of beers and cupcakes stolen from Carbon Boy in terms of, everything being everything going on in the chats. It's been fantastic. So, guys, thank you so much for this season. It's been absolutely awesome, and especially from a streamer's point of view, you guys have been absolutely fantastic. So looking forward. Hi Betty, how are you, buddy? Congratulations to Betty as well, actually. I should make note of this. Did a massive Herculean job of getting a real life gig as Womble has spun around there. That's going to hinder a couple of laps. Betty, of course, doing one of the big liveries of the Bathurst 12 hour, which was a fantastic. It was an absolutely fantastic design, actually. It was for the Valenti Rosso Mercedes AMGs, of course. And if you do want to have a look at that, make sure you check into BPM Livery Design and take a look. Absolutely wonderful job. And once again, Betty, congratulations from all of us here at Sector 1. Of course, one of the original designers, and made a meal here of making sure everyone else had to step up to his level, because his liveries were absolutely on point.
Yep, so change for pole.
There is a change. Oh, hello. Malevolent One's gone to the top with a 1 minute 42.1. And I think the thing that's really killed the Malevolent One's season in terms of the gap between himself, Peteypops, and especially Rex, he was in that fight, as he goes purple again. He was in that fight, but the last couple of rounds there's just been incidents that he's been involved in, and it's really brought him back down to earth a bit as he goes through the Polyphony Digital bridge. He's looking very, very quick in the Viper tonight. He's had great one-lap pace all season. It's just he's really struggled to put together in a couple of the races, as the Viper looks like it's got great turn-in. I wonder if...
nothing to split him. Popper's is a couple of seconds slower this lap. He clipped the wall going onto the main straight, so that's sort of cost him this time.
Yeah, and Malevolent One definitely lost time in terms of the third sector there, so the tyres might have actually burnt off a bit.
And Dazza hit the wall as well, so...
He has, and yeah, he's doing a little bit of mowing by the looks of it. Still plenty of time, though. These guys will come in, get a new set of boots, dust off and go again, as we tune in with Debrev, who is 1.3 seconds down at the moment. Just needs something as Kezar finds a little bit more. 43.2. That's a great looking Mercedes as well for the Racing Cars Like Legends crew. He's been very, very strong in terms of his race pace, especially. It's just the qualifying side that sort of let him down a little bit in terms of his overall race. See where he goes. It's definitely looking like a good time.
3 of the top 4 in for tyres. What's that, about 6 minutes to go?
Yeah, so I think that's the perfect time to come in. They'll get a couple of laps to really hit it home. Malevolent 1 on the top at the moment. Just under a 10th ahead of our championship leader, Rex. And look at the gap between himself and Peteypops as well. There's absolutely nothing in that. You've got Dazza, who's 3/4 of a second behind, but I feel like there's more to come out of that Corvette. It's been a very quick package here. Keza P5 with absolutely next to nothing gap to Debrev. And Womble at the moment is just settling into his rivets. Started the qualifying a little bit later than everybody else. As looks like someone was off there.
Yeah, Benevolent One might have some ECU issues there. I'm not too sure.
So, for guys in... Oh, Malevolent One's had a massive ECU failure,
Yeah.
so... Oh, no. And he's got pole at the moment, too. That's going to be interesting. So, we'll have to keep our eyes on that. He may have to start at the back of the grid. We'll have to keep tuning on that one. As Peteypops starts a lap now. Looks like someone has had a big moment. Daz has had another big moment here. So, this is absolutely destroying Daz's qualifying at the moment. He's had two big spins on the in-lap and the out-lap. So it's going to cut his time right down in terms of qualifying. Just keep tabs on Dazza. Not Dazza, bloody Peteypops.
Yep,
Doghouse
coming
crew
up
will
to
murder
the
me for
first
that.
time split.
He's looking pretty comfortable at the moment. And he's well and truly purple. Oh!
Nearly half a second up.
That Aston Martin is well and truly dialed in, and Doghouse Motorsport may be a rookie squad this season, but they have really shown they're not afraid to throw it with the big boys. They've done an incredible job.
Spending heaps of time on the simulator, getting their setups right.
And I've also heard the chats between the Doghouse boys. They are not afraid at all to be helping other teams out, and it's great to see the camaraderie over the season as... Looks like the Dadson Racing boys are still celebrating a little bit as Peteypops. Oh, he was able to hold on to the rear that just scooched up a little bit.
Still may get this. He's got a tent up his sleeve.
Got to get a strong exit though.
I think as the weight comes out of these cars, this will come down to the last lap.
I'm pretty inclined to agree with you there. A lot of understeer though for Petey going onto the front straight. Might just lose a couple of tenths. Nope, goes pole with a 41.9.
And he's picked up 3 tenths over that last 3 corners.
That was especially strong. He had a lot of understeer on the front end there going into the front straight. Keep our eyes...
Also looks like he's running on his original tyres too.
Wow. Keep our eyes on Rex here. I think he has... Has he pit? I dare say he has, unless Gran Turismo is playing Gran Turismo things.
Yeah, his tyre wears a lot more than others, so I'd say he's still running on them.
Keeping our eyes on Rex at the moment. Can he go faster? No, he can't. So he's half a second down on his previous lap. That's a lot of time to make up there. Daz's qualifying's just gotten from bad to worse. He's got a 3-second penalty at this stage. Keza in P4. And there's an absolutely nothing gap between... Keza and I believe it's Debrev. Just had a...
Really consistent laps there for Keza, which is a good sign for the race.
It is, and he's looking very, very strong. It's one of his better rounds. It's Womble. He's got a lot of time to find at this point. He's not really had that much practice, so has Womble, and that's been a big thing for a few of the guys that have just jumped in the car and not been comfortable with it straight off the bat and haven't had the time to get into it because of real life things, but that is the way we roll, unfortunately, with everything. That front looks a bit better through the final bend there for Peteypops. Can he improve? Oh, he doesn't improve. He's still got pole though. It's Keza goes to P3 with a 142.7. That's a great lap. Jump on board now with the Red Mist Racing Green Beacon Ford Mustang. Gets very tight. Very smooth on the exit as well. He's done a fantastic job. The final bend awaits though. Just lifts a little bit to just make sure he doesn't get that understeer. What's he going to do? Is he going to go faster? No, he's not. So he hasn't got much left in the tank either. Or have the tyres not come up to temp? That's interesting, as Debrev has now gone P3.
Yeah, 0.06, very tight.
Looked very strong so far, so just keep on board with Peteypops now. In the blue version of the Doghouse Motorsports cars. If anybody knows their Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, just keep us in the loop on which colour the blue turtle is. I'll call it that for the night. So he's down by 2/10.
Can confirm the blue turtle was Leonardo.
Ah, true. Well, Leonardo's shell just got scratched because Petey found the wall slightly on the exit. He might have lost some time, so it's going to have to be advantage Rex at this point. Has Rex got anything left?
He's just coming up to the last time check, so we've got a good idea there. Final lap was this.
Dazza goes with a 142.7, doesn't go back up to P3. And Rex is down.
Down.
That's, wow. He's not down by much, so you can still find time, but, oh, look at that. The Mustang just goes wide as Debrev has spun as well. That's Debrev's qualifying done. Has
Good
Rex
exit out of that turn. Yep.
Yeah, has he got anything left in the tank, do you think?
There'd be a 10th in it, maybe.
He's throwing the kitchen sink at this regardless. And, oh, look at the gap from his best lap. So, Peteypops will take pole position at this point. Rex will take second. Debrev will finish up in P3. I wonder what happened there. It looks like he might have just oversteered off on the grass. Dazza will finish P4. Keza 5th. Womble will round out P6. And, of course, Malevolent One, who was on pole at one stage, yeah, really just struggled with the qualifying. So, hasn't been able to jump back. We'll just keep a tab on things.
And I haven't seen anything on the radio chat from the level one, so it looks like that error, ECU error was terminal.
Oh no, I hope not. And that Viper's been a bit of a handful this season, but I'm hoping he can join because that just makes the racing a bit more interesting. We'll just keep tabs on that. But whew, what a qualifying session! That was absolutely great fun, I reckon.
All right, well, I think we've got everyone there. There's 6 starters, so we'll get the race started.
Yep, I'm just going to see if Malevolent One is going to come back real quick.
Yep.
Bear with me 2 seconds. Being his TO, I have to just shoot a message down to the boys at Deeds Racing, just to make sure that yeah, they get involved. So guys in chat, just make sure as well, if you do like the stream tonight, make sure you smack the like button, of course. And if you do like what you see, click subscribe, get ready, because we do have another event coming next week, and it's going to be an absolute blast. We're going to have a couple of fun races ready to go, and I'm personally looking forward to it, to be honest. If you want to see more details, stick around. A little bit later on, we'll explain more, or jump in our Sector 1 Discord, of course, and get involved, and you'll be able to see the details there on one of the threads, of course. Just waiting to see if the...
Just down here in the Sector 1 pit lane, there is a lot of frantic activity going on around the BMW M4 from Red Mist Racing. There seems to be some issues with the pedals in that car. They've got the technicians out. Lots of screwdrivers and multimeters. No hammers that I've seen yet, but that might be the next step.
I have seen a couple of cakes though down there, which is weird considering Ascension boys have had all the cakes this season. I do understand that there was one. I think it was a cake in the shape of a duck, but anyway, it did look pretty good. But
there was a half-eaten duck cake in the garage. I thought it best to leave that one alone. I'm not sure on Womble's cooking just yet.
Yeah, I'm not sure about that myself. So just waiting to see if Malevolent One is back.
I'll just put a quick message out to the guys.
Yep. Now, it's just been a bit of an absolute slobber knocker this season in terms of these supercars. They've been very tricky to drive, actually been a great success, and we've seen a lot of these guys that sort of just really struggled in the past couple of seasons have really found a home and put a lot of practice in, and it's yielded some fantastic results that we've seen last week with the Dadson Racing crew, and of course the Prospector, aka Dadson, winning the Division 3 championship. Started off with an absolute bang and then started doubting himself, and at that point we called him the Prospector because he was digging for gold, and ended up taking the chocolates last week. It was a great race, of course, a lot of drama, and you two boys were at the front of that, I believe. Graham, you were definitely well and truly involved in that title hunt.
Yeah, it's this track. It's just one of those tracks. I think that was my third race here, and three times I've made a couple of mistakes. It just can happen so easy. There's a few turns there that if you're not absolute perfect, it can get you. But also, down the main straight and down the back straight, you can be unsighted because of the undulations in the track if you're too close to the car in front. But no, look, it's a very challenging track, fitting for a final round, that's for sure.
Yeah.
But,
I've just had word from the Malevolent One as well, from my pit bunker, that he is coming back. There's just a bit of a reset going on. His internet completely died. Thank you, Telstra.
Yeah.
So he will be with us in a matter of moments, of course. And then once he's jumped in, he'll have to start from the back of the grid, which is really, really unfortunate, but means there's plenty of room, plenty of time, and this is a track that really, really bites. So we saw last week as well with Carbon Boy, lap 2, he tried to thread the needle on the 2 litres, and what's the best way to say? I really don't want to say too much because he's here in the box, so... or he's... no, he's not in the box, he's down. Where are you, Carbon Boy? Whereabouts are you at the moment?
Currently enjoying a beer and a sausage in the Dadson Racing garage.
How are the sausages? Good?
Very, very tasty. Onions on top, the way they should be.
Ew, no. God, no. Oh, I can't do onions. No, I think, I think, how was that last week for you when the crashes happened and all that, your crash as well, and having to fight through the pack? Like, was it a different mindset going from, I think I can win this to, I'm going to battle back, or...
It's fair to say I was pretty annoyed with myself at that point in time. So it was... I just wanted to put my head down and try and salvage as good a result as I could.
Yeah, no, that's fair enough. Oh, you go, Grant.
I was just going to say, same here. It's that sort of track. It really does inspire you to drive through it, and it gave me the chance to try a few different strategies. I did a pitted 1 lap early just to see what I could make up there. Saved a bit of fuel so I could run a bit harder at the other end. And this track is really critical on fuel at 29 laps.
Oh, dear God.
It's not too hard to get there, but to keep enough fuel to be able to battle at different parts of the race, that's key to it. And it was really good. I enjoyed the strategy piece. And got a 5th, I think, at the end, which salvaged some points.
Well, it makes me wonder how the Corvettes are going to go tonight, because we saw last week Kiwi Raikkonen was able to hold P3, P2 actually, but Morgan Davey did run out of fuel, doing the deeds thing, of course, but it makes me wonder the likes of Bumcrack and Old Wakey, and in this race especially, is Dazza. How is that going to go? As I've just had the message from Malevolent One, he will not be able to make it. So I think we may as well get going.
Yeah, I've just got to give it 30 seconds. We just had one driver jump the wall for a comfort stop. He's doing the dash at the moment. And Womble's got a piano lesson.
So Malevolent One is our official DNF for the first race. Yep. I have had confirmation from my end. So stewards, I do apologise. It is more paperwork for you. And we will leave it there. But yeah, a bit gutted for Malevolent One to finish that way, the way he did. So, alrighty.
Okay, I'm just checking on that driver just to see if they're back.
Yep. Beautiful. So, guys, strap yourselves in. Make sure you get your drinks, get your beers, get your water, get, I don't know, even a coffee. I don't mind at this point. It's the final race of the season. So, let's get, well, second last race technically, but we are looking very much forward to this one. We will only, unfortunately, start with the 6 runners, but we are looking very forward to it. So, just to run you through the grid again, Peteypops with a 1:41.9 will take pole. Rex starts from P2 with a 1:42.2. Dobrev did a 1:42.6 for P3. Dazza only a 10th behind in P4. P5 less than a 10th between Dazza and Keza, who takes P5. And Womble just struggling with the pedals a little bit. It is all good to go from Keza's end.
All right, good to go, yep.
Yep. So,
okay, button being pushed.
First time you've ever pressed that, how's that feel?
I'm a bit nervous.
No, that's all good. So strap yourselves in, ladies and gentlemen. Second last race of the season. We are going to have an absolute slobber knocker of a night tonight. And, oh boy, it's going to be tough to pick this one. As it is Rex versus Peteypops. There are still a few drivers here in this grid that are looking very much forward to trying and spoiling that party. So make sure you just strap yourselves in, boys and girls, if you're not strapped already. Just waiting for these guys to start. And they are away. It looks like Peteypops has had an absolutely beautiful start. He's got off the line beautifully. Rex is under threat from Dobrev as they enter turn 1. Rex covers for defense. He's done a great move there. Oh, they're very tight at this point of the race. A little bit of a gap forming.
And we can't underestimate how important those pole points were either.
That's very, very true. Very true. I think it's 1 point for pole, I believe, or is it 2 points? Guys in chat might be able to clarify with me because I don't have an encyclopedia and I'm not very bright. Anyway, Peteypops half a second to the good. Rex has got Dobrev breathing down his neck at this point. The grid is still very, very tight. On board now with the Red Mist Racing Ford Mustang. That gap between Petey and Rex on the straights is definitely increasing quite a bit. He's got Dobrev all over him. In fact, the rest of the grid is just straight behind him. And we know the advantage of the Mercedes here. It's very, very strong on the long runs. It's great on fuel. Just doesn't have the power on the straights. Will that hinder it tonight? Peteypops has well and truly put the foot to the floor at this point. As guys in chat have confirmed, 2 points for pole, 1 point for fastest lap. So that gap will drop to 22 points in the championship. So barring a disconnect at this point, the champion-elect is Rex. As Dazza, look at that, just behind, just has a big moment. He's got Dobrev on the outer. These two fighting for the last step of the podium at this point. Can Dobrev pull it up? Is Keza going to have a think about it? No. Dazza gets it done. Look at Keza around the outside. Can he make it happen?
Just caught on the inside.
He's definitely thought about it. And Womble's still with this battle pack, but our lead two have skipped away quite a bit. Wonder if Dazza's going to be using too much too soon, because that Corvette really does have a disadvantage on this track when it comes to fuel.
Pop us out to 1.5.
Yeah, he's well and truly burying the foot at the moment in the Aston. He's doing a great job. Rex in P2 is just going to hang about, but is he going to be in the same fuel situation as the Corvette? We haven't really seen the Mustang on a proper power circuit like this as Keza goes up the inside of Dobrev. He's going to go up the inside of Dazza too. There's contact! And that sent Dazza wide!
Oh.
See if we can get that on a replay. We saw what happened with Keza. He had a big look up the inside. And then he had an even bigger look at Dazza and just said, no, that's mine. That's very unfortunate. Dazza's just gone up the inside again. So has that been readdressed, I wonder? back up the front though now. Lap 2's just ending. We're going into lap 3. Peteypops 2.3 to the good. That Aston is singing. And the gap between Rex and Daz are now 3 seconds. The fighting between these guys and Rex and Peteypops has really cut them off. So this is a 4-way battle for the podium. Keza looking very strong at this point in the Ragged Edge Racing Aston Martin. It's been...
Yeah, he's certainly shown the ability just to generate those low 143s lap after lap this afternoon in practice. So could be a solid race for him if he manages his fuel right too.
Yep, agreed. The Corvette doesn't have the kindest of fuel saves. That's from experience. Brev hasn't really let these guys go, and Womble doing a great job at the moment as he just goes wide. Still able to hold it, but that's lost him a lot of time. I think he'll be pretty keen to just end the season though. It's been a bit of a struggle for Womble as we keep an eye on Keza, who's having a big look on the outside.
He got a massive toe down that straight.
And that's
a little bit deep under brakes.
That's unusual for the Aston Martin, because the Corvette is definitely an absolute bullet in the straight line. He's got the Brev all over him. We'll jump on board with the Ragged Edge Racing Aston Martin. You see in the rear view mirror, he's got Debrev right behind him. Debrev's just going to keep that pressure on. But up in front, he's got the locked up motorsports car. To a bit of Dazza. He holds on though. It's a big moment. Carl very unsettled on the approach into the... I do believe that was turn 12. So Daz has just extended those legs a little bit. The Corvette's starting to make a little bit of hay while the sun shines. At the moment though, Peteypops still 2.1 to the good. The gap starting to stagnate a little bit. Starting to even out. 1:43.4 last lap. Rex did a 1 minute 43.193, so nearly the fastest lap of the race. Peteypops at the moment though doing everything in his power to keep this championship chance alive. Rex is very, very strong this season, but has he got anything for Peteypops is the real question here. Daz at P3 at this point, he's doing a great job. The gap slightly extending out to Rex. Keep our eyes on this Keza Johnson car though, in a straight line. The Aston usually doesn't have the ability to pull up a straight as hard as a Corvette, but he's done a great job. Must be a bit of a low downforce setup maybe.
Yeah, the low downforce does work on the Astons on this track. The cornering isn't too tight, but it certainly has benefit for fuel and not only top speed but speed short gears. It can certainly help.
Yeah, so Womble's just dropped off the back of these guys a little bit now. 4 seconds behind. He's just really struggling. He's the only one in the field to take that M4. Going to be keeping our eyes on Debrev here at the moment though, because that Merc on a power circuit hasn't really been able to do the job. We saw last week, especially in Division 1 with Jish. He wasn't able to match what he was able to do at Road America. Road Atlanta, sorry, get those ones mixed up. It's this battle here between Dazza and Keza. Most Australian names in all of Sector 1, Dazza and Keza. Keza doing a great job at the moment just to keep in touch with Dazza, who I feel is really pushing at the moment.
And Keza last week raced in some Datsun equipment, and the downside out of that is he may have some new brake componentry ordered for next season. So,
is he
was
joining?
Very happy with the.
Is
he was very happy with the way the Datsun brakes work. So I think he's ordered some special gear from America.
I wonder if he. Oh, so it's not Fanatec. Interesting.
No, it's some bolt-ons, but yeah, he enjoyed the Datsun technology.
Just see him have a massive moment. See if we can catch that on replay. He's going uphill, and the cameraman was very, very terrible at the time. I do apologise for that. Make no bones about it. You saw him on the approach. He nearly collected nearly collected Keza. Dazza. Keza Dazza. So it looks like the gap has actually dropped between Rex and Dazza Sturley at the moment as well. That gap was 3 seconds. It's now down to 1.9. And that gap is dropping very quick. And the big thing for that for Keza at the moment, if he can just stay with Dazza Sturley behind and just either save a little bit of fuel or keep up with him, it might actually be a little bit of a sniff for the podium as Peteypops. 2.6 to the good. It's going to be very interesting as well to see what happens if Rex does claim this championship tonight. Of course, he will be eyeing off a promotion to the bigger groups. Make no bones about it, Division 3, those boys know how to play. Looking very forward to seeing how that goes, but he's finishing off with an absolute bang tonight.
He's been able to manage that gap to Poppers. It was nearly up to 3 seconds, but sitting around that 2.5. And they both look quite relaxed the way they're driving. There's no rapid movements or anything on the wheel. Their gear changing pretty consistently in the same spot, so they've both definitely got a fuel strategy going.
Yeah, it looks like it's working very, very well at this point for these guys. They're really starting to make time into Rex, but not only are they making time to Rex, they're not really fighting each other, and it seems to be working in their favour that they're catching Rex. Rex just lost 0.3 of a second just there through the left-hander there. I'm going to fondly call that, I don't even know. That's the corner name, we'll call that. He's definitely losing out. He might be just trying to fuel save, but he doesn't really need to risk it at this point. Oh, Keza had a big moment there. You saw in the background, little bit of oversteer. That's not what he needed to keep up this podium fight. These guys haven't really gotten without, haven't really broken apart from, unfortunately, Womble is just hanging back there. Peteypops, the gap between himself and Rex, still a bit stagnant at the moment, 2.3. I don't think Rex has got anything for Peteypops at this point of the race, though. He's definitely coming under fire from Dazza, who's well and truly smashed that gap down, so Rex really struggled that last lap. Seems like that Mustang on the longer runs really doesn't like turning. And it's bringing Keza back as well. On board now with Dazza. On the locked up Motorsports Chevy Corvette. Going up the hill, of course, past the Polyphony Digital Bridge.
And about halfway through the first stint, they're all looking after their tyres. Almost equal across all of them, actually.
See the Corvette just going through, I don't even know, and he's it's a very, very stable car, this Corvette, the way it's looking. Still got a few ECU issues at this point, but he's really making time through the third sector on Rex, who seems to be really struggling with that left-right chicane. He's got everything to lose tonight, does Rex. Look at the gap though now. He's absolutely smashed the time out in the third sector as Dazza.
And Poppers might be on to reclaim fastest lap here. He had a really good exit out the last few corners.
Might see Dazza make a move here. We'll jump on board. He's definitely having a look. Dazza's actually got the fastest lap of the race now with a 1:42.4. Goes around the outside. Rex goes defensive. Dazza, can he make it happen? He does. Great move.
Pass.
See if we can get that on our replay. And he definitely had the pace. He's had the strong pace up the third sector, and he just made it happen. Now it's up to Keza. Try and see if Keza can get past Rex. He's got more to lose than everybody else at this point, and Keza's really, these guys really aren't going to want to get involved too hard with Rex, of course. The gap between Debrev and the main pack, though, now it's dropped to 4.3. Looks like the Mercedes just doesn't have the pace at this point.
Yeah, he's got good fuel save happening, but he's 8.5 seconds off the lead, so that's hard to claw back.
As we saw Womble just absolutely scrape the wall. Peteypops 2 seconds to the good. This right-left chicane, it's just the snake. It's really been a struggle for a lot of these guys tonight. They seem to be losing a lot of pace through there. Daz is especially confident though. He's just taken 3/10 of the second through. Doing an absolutely great job at this point. He's got the pace, but the problem is he using too much fuel? Might just get a quick fuel and tyre update as well there, Graham, if you want to have a look and tell us who's struggling on fuel and tyres.
Yeah, so lap 9, probably see a first stint at the 15th lap, and let's say choose an undercut. Poppers is sitting right on half. Tyres, pretty good actually, where you'd expect them to be. He's been driving very disciplined and hitting the apexes and looking at those tyres. We've got Dazza. He's a little bit under half. Tyres a little bit more. They're certainly well in the groove to be able to drive hard on them. But yeah, a little bit lower on fuel. We've got Rex again a bit lower than Dazza, so probably the worst on fuel out of the top 3, but still within that 15 lap realm. And tyres probably equivalent to the 2 in front. We've got Keza, really good tyre wear, back right's a little bit lower than the others, so something in the setup there. And fuel, he's probably not too bad. He'd be seconds behind Poppers in fuel. And we've got Debrev, best fuel by a bit. And
there's been a moment! There's been a big moment. I'm sorry to cut in there. Daz has absolutely lost it. See if we can get that on a replay. He just went through the chicane. We just had our eyes on Keza. And he's definitely just smacked the wall. Yeah, he's clipped the grass. That's what's happened. He's absolutely massive. Absolutely buried it through the snake. And it's not worked well. Debrev's now up to P4. He's got a 3-second penalty. Oh.
Yeah, that'll throw his strategy out the window. He's going to have to run hard now, 12 seconds back.
And Kez has just gotten through at the first turn, but he's gone wide. Rex has just said, thank you very much. That's what happens if you make a mistake. I'm going to pounce on that. Then there was a little bit of contact on the approach to turn 1. The car was very sideways. We'll see if we can get on the replay here. Nope, we can't. We've missed it. But it looks like Dazza had a lot of pace at that point. He was within a second of Peteypops. He was absolutely throwing the kitchen sink at it. Wonder what Keza will do here, though. You said Keza was better on fuel than Rex, didn't you?
We've got, there's probably a lap in it, a lap of fuel, which is handy when you're fighting. I'm just looking at Keza's lap time. He's really consistent. Mid-143s, lap after lap, and throw a 42.9 in there.
Now it looks like
it's a very strong drive.
It looks like Rex is struggling in terms of race pace at this point, because at 143s, 144s, he hasn't really got the pace of. Hasn't really got the pace at the moment. As I think Womble is now unfortunately out of the race.
Out.
Yeah. So it seems like there's been an ECU failure of some sort there. Pressure is well and truly on Rex at this point, with Keza right behind. Just looking back now at the Ragged Edge Racing Aston Martin from the Red Mist Racing Mustang, and Keza!
That was wide.
That
actually
was
the
close.
downside to the two of these guys fighting, they're probably playing into Popper's hands a bit from a fuel down the outside. Big man.
Yeah, no. Can he pull it up? Is the question though.
He's kept it out of the sand and got second.
That is crazy good move. We'll see if we can get that on replay.
Wait till he gets his new brakes.
God, if he's braking like that already around the outside of turn 1, and he was able to. The scariest thing was he was able to pull that up and get it done. Great job.
Yeah, because I was going to say before that, fighting like that, sort of they're using fuel, and which they'll lose time in the pit stops. But Keza's got ahead, so it'd be interesting to see if he starts to clear out or Rex is up for the fight.
So I've just had confirmation from Womble that he has had a rig failure, so a chassis failure. his pedals just absolutely went to 45 degrees, and he had absolutely no throttle or brake or anything. So unfortunately, the BMW M4 for Red Mist Racing is in the garage, albeit a very big amount of damage to the car. As we go back now, just looking at Dazza, who's 2 seconds at the moment in front of Deep Rev, and that gap is definitely going to change because the Corvette is well and truly the worst in the field on fuel.
Oh,
he's gone again.
Hit the wall. Yep.
Oh, he nearly actually put it into reverse then, just to try and get that sorted. Catch it. He just looped it around, so the exact same mistake as before. Yeah, the exact same mistake. So he's just smashed into the grass, and it's just sent him right around. As the gap between Rex and Keza now 1 second to the good. But Keza is starting to take time out of Peteypops here. He's driving a great race at the moment. This is one of those tracks that's a little bit wider than some of the tracks we've been to, especially Bathurst. In terms of the track width, you're able to use a lot more of it. That means you can save a little bit more of the fuel, a little bit more of the tyre, take a bit more risk. And it looks like that's what Keza's been doing tonight. He's putting on a very strong result, so to speak.
Down to 1.3, sorry.
He's definitely got the eyes forward as the Ragged Edge Racing Aston Martin, and to take a win here for Keza, this would be massive going into next season. He's definitely looking to improve, constantly on the up. Same with Peteypops and everyone else in Division 4, to be honest, constantly trying to find ways to improve, and the racing has been fantastic.
And these guys put a lot of practice in between rounds, and it's paying off on race days.
Look at the pace of Keza. Yeah, he's purple.
Fastest lap on to the second time point.
So you can see he's definitely got the bit between the teeth here. Peteypops might not have a say in this, but if I'm Peteypops here, I've got to fight. You've got to fight. There's a championship on the line, and your championship protagonist is in P3 at this point. Keza's definitely got a lot of pace in that Aston Martin at the moment. The gap is well and truly dropping. 1 minute 44, one last lap for Peteypops. 1 minute 42.6 for Keza.
Only 2 tenths off the fastest lap.
2.5 difference in terms of race pace that lap. That Ragged Edge Racing on point profiling Aston Martin, of course, fantastic looking thing. One of the stalwart squads of Sector 1 there. Ragged Edge, of course, former teams champions and former drivers champion with TX3 GDR at the wheel. As Rex has just been brought back into this battle a little bit. Seems to have found a second win in the Mustang. Did a 43.4 last lap though. That was a fantastic lap. They're both catching Peteypops pretty quick at this point though. Look at the gap, 1.6 now. Seems to be the third sector where Keza and Dazza make a lot of their time up. These guys definitely keeping it tight and clean at the moment. So just looking at the chat at the moment, just at Shiza's question, what night is the special event? It'll be this time next Sunday night, Shiza. It will be February 19th, 7 o'clock, Sector 1 Awards. And we do have a couple of interesting little races, one fun one and one a bit more serious. So we'll be announcing winners for certain awards for the season. And of course, keep your eyes on the big one, the Hall of Fame, 3 new inductees, and looking very, very forward to seeing who takes that out. I'm not sure who will myself, but stay tuned. It is next week, 7 o'clock. It's going to be very, very fun. It's Keza, the gap, 1.1 seconds. And that lap, he's well and truly down in terms of his pace. He was 2.2 seconds slower that lap.
Yeah, I've got a feeling we might see second and third having to come in at 14.
Before that 15.
Yeah, that fighting has definitely taken a little bit of an edge off. We've got a couple on the fuel light.
And Daz has come into the pits now, and that Corvette looking very second-hand. The front end just absolutely grazed to bits. And that gap between Peteypops and Keza keeps dropping. less than a second, then goes back over a second.
Yeah, Rex has he's dropped a second on the lap. He's just come off the boil a little, but I think he might be planning for a stop. Same with Keza.
Yeah, he doesn't really need to risk anything. The only thing that's going to kill his championship hopes is a disconnect at this point. We don't want to see that. That would be pretty brutal, especially for Rex, who's worked so hard this season. I do believe he's won all but 2 races. As just behind, I see the Brev there. It looks like he had a little bit of a moment. The Mercedes just hasn't really had the pace to do anything, unfortunately. It doesn't bode well for the Mercedes drivers in our next race, of course. So, just at the moment, just going to see if I can tune into the radio with Carbon Boy.
Kez is in.
Kez is in. Are you there, Carbon Boy?
And Rex.
And Rex? Are you down at
Sorry,
the
just had to finish my my sausage there. How can I help?
So, what are your thoughts there in the Keza v Rex battle at the moment in terms of the pits as Keza comes in front of you?
I must admit I've been a little distracted. To be honest, the Keza Rex battle. I think those boys back in the pit garage need to have a bit of a conversation with each other and get on the radio and get the two of them working together, because if they keep going the way they're going, I mean, they're not going to catch Peteypops. So if those two can work together and do a little bit of ASR style, help each other with a slipstream and just use some inter-team teamwork, they'll be able to catch back up to Petey in a very short amount of time.
Alright, so we'll just...
And they will need to run a longer second stint. They'll have to go 15 laps.
So we'll let Carbon Boy get back to the sausages that he's been eating, and as our new pit lane man, of course, he's tried the shorts on and immediately split them in half. That's how much he loves sausages. Anyway, back at the action. Peteypops, 14.6 seconds to the good at the moment. Hasn't pitted yet. Dobrev has had a stop, as I am aware, or maybe not. I don't think he has.
No, he hasn't. He's, I think he'll be in this lap.
Gran Turismo doing Gran Turismo things. Says he's had a stop on lap 7 and 8. Oh, sorry. Lap 7 and 8, as I've just taken a bit of a yawn. Been up since 5:30 this morning. Travelling to Italy, of course, over in the plane. Kept a big eye on the Bathurst 12-hour yesterday. In Assetto Corsa, of course, the $1.50 racing crew run by CP Motorsports with a Hall of Famer Ghost ran last yesterday. And did quite a good job. A couple of little incidents, but that is the mountain she bites. So congratulations to the guys at CP Motorsports for having a big crack at the mountain at the Bathurst 12-hour. So looking forward to seeing what happens in the rest of the season for those boys as we keep an eye on Peteypops that's pitted. And I think it was Leonardo that the car was called. I can't remember. It might have been called Donatello, Michelangelo, David. Anyway, he's come back out and he's got a 3.6 second lead over Keza. But the pit stop has really helped. But at this point, Keza, that's going to be tight on fuel. I don't know if he's going to be able to make that.
Yeah, he's got an extra lap to run, and he's probably might have only went to about 90-95%.
Or has he done his numbers so fine, maybe, that he's just at that risk of, if I go too hard this early, or if I go too hard too late, have I got too much fuel or not enough fuel? Or that's going to be the interesting piece here, and especially if Peteypops early on in this stint's able to put the foot down, that's going to be key, because if Keza catches right up to him, he might just be able to save fuel. Rex is just behind these guys though.
Yeah, and Rex and Keza did go a little bit hard at the end of that stint, so the fuel reading, when you're filling and you're looking at that lap counter, it can be a bit deceiving because it takes them the earlier fuel save short shifting stint as well.
Yeah, that's very true. And one thing I have noticed as well is the Mustang in this stint, as Dobrev pits, is it's been a bit of a misfit in terms of the power circuits and fuel, but Rex has done a great job all season to be able to keep the hang of that one. As the Racing Cars Like Legends Mercedes pits. And this should, by theory, put Peteypops back up the front. The gap between Keza and Rex, though, has dropped slightly. It's just over a second. And I wonder what these guys are going to be able to do in terms of lap time. To be able to tell how hard they're pushing with their laps.
Yeah, Keza's taken 1.5 seconds out of Poppers on that in-out lap sequence.
Yeah.
Was sitting around 3.
The problem here is going to be the fuel side of things. You want Peteypops to absolutely go hell for leather with Keza in a great big battle, but I just don't think that's going to happen because the fuel is going to be a big issue here as Rex has well and truly got the bit between his teeth. Jump on board again. Beautiful interior of the Ford Mustang, of course. Rex has just been the class act all season long. He's looked very strong. Been at times impossible to beat. As they come up to I don't even know. And he looks like just with the tyre wear. Looks like when he's got fresh tyres, as Keza just has a little bit of a moment there. It looks like he's just able to have that much more confidence in the car, but as soon as the grip goes away, it's not as fun to drive.
Yeah, he's holding good corner speed.
Yeah.
You can see that where he's catching Keza through the corners.
But once the tyres went a little bit later on, was it the front end or was it more rear end that he had issues with?
Probably right rear.
Yeah.
And there are a couple like that. Even Popper's right rear was the one that probably took the punishment.
As Rex, his pace is looking pretty good at the moment, at 43.8 last lap, but it's enough to keep Keza in tow. That gap between Peteypops and Keza down to 1.5 now, so got 2.7 seconds in between first and third. Got Debrev P4, so if anybody makes a big mistake, Debrev will be there to clean it up. It's still a big battle for the podium at the moment for Debrev, so he can't give up just yet. And that goes well for Dazza as well, who's 3.5 seconds behind, but he's got the major issue of pitting in so early. He pitted on lap 10. Oh no, pitted on lap 12. End of lap 12. Anyway. Looks like Rex is really starting to come back at Keza here.
Yeah, I'm just looking at the lap times. It's taken one couple of laps to get settled. They've been a bit all over the place, and a pit stop can do that when you're trying to do the maths and work out a strategy for the second leg. But they're now starting to get back into those 43s.
I think.
Or yeah, top 3 are all back in the 43s, where there's some 44s in there.
I think in this race, if you're averaging a low 43, high 42, you're still able to just look after the car. You're doing pretty well. We saw later on the stint, Keza definitely had the pace. So that bodes well for his late race pace, especially in that last 10 minutes or so. Look at that, 42.8, so he's bang on in terms of pace there. He's doing a great job, and he's actually in the slipstream at this point.
Which, if he works his gear changes, will help him. Poppers will be doing some of the work for him.
Rex, he's only a 1.5 seconds behind Keza, so Keza's starting to push a little bit.
Yeah, 2.3 covers the first 3.
Yeah, it's starting to close up a little bit as Peteypops has got an earful of Ragged Edge Racing Aston Martin behind him as the cameraman once again gets it wrong. Last race of the season as Keza runs a little bit wide there. That's going to lose some valuable time. These guys all within QE of each other, can't afford to make a mistake, especially if there's massive contact. That gap between Keza and Rex has just dropped again. But it seems this is the section of the track where they're really struggling at the moment. And the chicane can bite. Rex at the moment, he's just going to probably let these guys fight. He might even try and do a bit of fuel conservation at this point, because if the Mustang is fuel compromised compared to the Astons, well, he's got to make it happen somehow. Keza might be pushing too hard at this point. Wait and see. He's definitely pushing though, as you've seen.
Yep. And when he is inside that 0.75, he is using the revs to just take the edge off the fuel burn.
Yeah, he's doing a great job at the moment, is Keza. But he might have to just go in a little bit of conservation mode. Either way, this is the battle for the podium. These guys are pushing. Peteypops, your man of the hour, leading the charge at the moment. A 1 minute 44 flat for his last lap. Keza, 3/10 quicker last lap. He's 43.7. Rex, our championship elect at this stage at 43.5. So Rex might not have the pace to keep up with these guys, but we'll wait and see. Still 15 minutes to go. Plenty of time here on the Isle of Sardegna. In the Mediterranean, right near Italy. Absolutely beautiful spot, actually. Went to a couple of wineries around here, and they're very good indeed. I will not hesitate to say that. This gap between Petey and Kez is really starting to drop.
Yeah, I've got to say, really disciplined drive by Poppers. That gap's 0.5, 0.8 fluctuating, and he's hitting the apexes where he should. He might have the mirror pointed up to the roof, but he's doing a really good job to manage this.
You've seen Peteypops then, he just really sort of pulled up as Poppers goes wide. That might be all the incentive that Keza needs here. Saw through just the approach snake how much pace Keza was keeping. He didn't have the foot buried, whereas Peteypops braked a little bit early to try and get a little bit of a better exit. He's definitely in the tow now. We'll get on board again with the Ragged Edge Racing Aston Martin. Too used to saying Mustang. As Peteypops has a big moment. This might be the look that Keza needs. P1 versus P2. Peteypops has to fight. He has no choice. There is a championship still on the line. What can Peteypops do? Has he got anything at this stage? Or is he just waiting for Keza to just make a big mistake while pushing? And it's very easy to do here. You want to be so careful with what moves you make.
Yeah, it's one of the things, probably for Keza, sitting in this gap, in this range now, is probably a good thing for a couple of laps, just to sort of readdress that having to pit one lap early and carry that one lap on a longer stint. So he's doing the right thing, and Rex is right there now too, 0.5 behind.
If I'm
so
Rex,
they'll probably work off each other, yeah.
If I'm Rex at this stage, I'm just going to sit behind and let Keza do the work. Because then that way you can get a little bit of a fuel save, and then later on when the race really starts to heat up between these three, he'll be at a pretty decent advantage. As Keza goes very wide, he's off! He's well and truly off! Ooh. And that's given Rex a golden ticket! Get that on replay. You saw him approach the corner, he got it all nicely in. A little bit too hot maybe. And then on the exit it just understeered completely off. Got work to do, he's got to do it all over again, but the problem now is the fact that Peteypops has his main championship rival behind him. This is going to be an interesting little battle here. I think if I'm Rex now, you've lost that advantage of being able to save fuel. You're going to have to start making a move here. Put the pressure right on Peteypops and make him feel it. So I'm just getting in touch with the D's Racing boys down at the pit lane at the moment, and it is a completely burnt out ECU for the Dodge Viper there, and that's not the first time that's happened this season with the Dodgers. So, luckily, actually, they caught that, because it was, it could have been a lot worse. It could have actually blew up, and that could have been not only catastrophic for the Dodge Viper, of course, but for the entirety of the pit lane. Of course, that car was sitting in the pit lane. It was on pole until it dropped out. Now we're on board with this battle between our two championship protagonists, and it looks like Kez has just fallen well and truly back. It's 2.7 back now. He's still got time on his side, of course, to try and make a move, but he's got a lot of work to do. What he's going to have to aim for is the fact that Rex and Peteypops are within cooey of each other, and he's going to need these two to absolutely scrap. We have seen it before. Rex is definitely pushing at this point. Lap times are
He's
very
used
strong.
and a little bit more tyre to get there, but he's in a good spot now. That's sort of 0.7 back. We've got 11 minutes to go.
How's he looking on fuel compared to Peteypops is the real question, because the Mustang is a little bit of a fuel guzzler.
Okay, we've got Poppers just a touch over half, and Rex is a little bit under half, so there's probably a lap or so in it. And that bit of fuel saved by Kez has put him in line with Poppers.
Well, the big thing as well is that Keza and Rex pitted at the same time. And Rex, being on a fuel disadvantage, he's going to have to be very aware of that.
Yeah, and that's why I think sitting where he is, he's well and truly in the slipstream now at 3/10 back. That's what he needs to keep this alive. I'll just go down. Debrev's 12 seconds off. He's equal with the best on fuel. Daz is probably a little bit worse, but he's trying to make up a lot of distance.
On board with the Doghouse Motorsports Aston Martin.
Yeah, just on tyres, pretty even. Rex probably a touch worse, but certainly not enough to impact lap times.
I think for Rex now, it's now or never. If he really wants this win, he doesn't really need it, but if you're a racing driver, you just got to go for it, don't you? As Rex, he's definitely got the fuel disadvantage, but it looks like his car's handling not too bad this second stint. He had a little bit of issues early on. These two, of course, been the benchmark all season. I don't think either of them missed a podium, to be honest, except for Rex did miss a round. And it looks like Peteypops has decided to get the bit between the teeth because he's second ahead. So the guys at Doghouse have radioed in. Kez has not really been able to make roads on the three ahead of him. So it looks like, oh, and he's gone wide. He's had a big moment as Keza. He's been able to gather it up, but oh boy. Just needs to calm down. Just get his head back into it. He's still in P3, so that's a good result for him. Debrev in P4 at this point, and he's had a great season. He's going to be looking forward to sending this Mercedes off. See what bodes next for racing cars like Legends. And Dazza in P5, who's he was well and truly on point in terms of pace. As we plug one of our major sponsors here, On Point Profiling, of course. If you need anything, go and see Troy and the guys at On Point Profiling. Say that 10 times really fast, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, Daz's last two laps, 142.64 and 142.83. So he's certainly got the bit between his teeth.
Yep. And this is the major battle for the race lead at this point. Rex v Peteypops, and this is fondly, I'm going to call it Peteypops' final stand. Because at this point, the only thing with 8 minutes to go is divine intervention. I think Peteypops, he's absolutely improved leaps and bounds this season, but Rex has been in a class of one. There's been a couple of actually very, very big fights between these two. Deep Forest is probably the biggest one of the season. That was an incredible battle between these two. There was a lot of respect between them. Rex just got away with the win in that one. It was a second to last lap move that he made. Kezo's well and truly dropped now. He's 5.2 seconds behind these two. I think he's, put
6.5 on Debrev, consolidation mode now, and maintain that podium at the finish.
Is he maybe worried about tyre life at this stage?
He's probably got the best. His tyres are equal with Poppers. and fuel. He's actually managed to claw the deficit back to be in line with Poppers as well. So I think he's consolidating just to make sure he gets home.
Just looking now at Peteypops, who's set a purple sector and through the snake he goes. And he's definitely starting to push. I think he knows he's good on fuel now. But it's the man behind at the moment. He may have lost the battle tonight, but anything can still happen with 6 minutes to go. But at this point, he's looking like he's won the war. And the Ford Mustang, a lot of people are very, very skeptical on this car. It lacked top-end speed, and not only that, it was a bit of a fuel guzzler. It was a bit of a secondary choice compared to the likes of the Corvette and the Aston, but Rex, the only Mustang in the field, and he's made it work.
Yeah, and I think Poppers he's had the go orders because he's just dropped a 142.6, 4/10 quicker than Rex. So I think he'll use his car advantage here.
I don't think Keza had much more in the tank, to be honest, because yeah, he's well and truly dropping in time, and he's actually he's falling backwards to Dobrev, if anything. The gap 6.6, 6.7. Dazza, what it could have been if it wasn't for those crashes. It might have been compromised a little bit though in terms of fuel, so that's really not helped. But back up the front now. The gap is 1.3 seconds to the good for Peteypops. He's been able to keep Rex at bay for this one so far. They go through I don't even know. I think the biggest thing now if you're Rex, you just want to bring it home. You don't want to make any mistakes that are going to cost anything. You don't want to... You've got that gap that you can afford to drop some points, but even so, you don't really want to risk anything in terms of crashing the car or making a mistake, or you'd be praying right now that his internet connection holds up, which I'm pretty sure it will. Because we've got under 5 minutes to go. Starting to see a few candles and banners go up at Red Mist Racing's pit lane garage. Been a long time coming for the boys at Red Mist Racing. One of the most passionate squads in all of Sector 1. They've been here for quite a while, and we know how flamboyant Womble is.
Yeah, so Popper's 6/10 on that lap. He's definitely managed this car very well.
He has. He's driven an absolutely flawless race as Peteypops. Dazza still holds the fastest lap of the race with 1 minute 42.4, so that's a great job he's doing. That gap between Dobrev and Keza is definitely... It's really dropping. You see the understeer from the SLS AMG. Big 6.3 litre at the front. Didn't really want to grip up.
Actually, I think Kez is sitting there in third, you know, just quietly managing his car. He's totally addressed that fuel deficit by having to come in a lap early. He's right on the money to do the 15-lap stint, and potentially have a little bit should Dobrev get closer.
Sorry, I'm just looking out of the pit lane now. I've just seen Womble start to walk across into the box just in front of the pit, the main straight here, and yeah, he's definitely put on a very flamboyant half-mast shirt from Green Beacon. And it's also his son's birthday, I believe. It was yesterday or the day before. I can't remember off the top of my head, but a little happy birthday to Finn. But this will be a big moment as well for Rex. He's been here before in Sector 1, and he struggled a little bit to get used to the cars in terms of the pace, and but he really enjoyed the Mustang. And in fact, every single season he's raced, I'm pretty sure he's raced the Mustang every single time. Might need some clarification on that, of course, but he was picked up by Red Mist and looked very much at home with the squad based in Queensland, of course.
Actually, Keza might have the bit between his teeth here. He did a 42.7. Rex was a 45.2, so he's missed something somewhere around the track. And what are we, probably 1.5 laps to go. There's a definite fuel advantage to Keza.
Could there be a spicy little meatball in the last lap of the last race of the last round of Division 4? Oh boy.
Yeah, he's just taking half a second out in 3 corners.
I think Rex is in trouble with fuel personally because Peteypops through the gap now, 4.7 seconds. It's skyrocketing too. That's going to be 5 seconds within a matter of time. And look at the...
And Peteypops, he's doing it conservatively too. He's not sort of blowing big times away and taking risks.
Look at the gap now though between Keza and Rex. Rex is in serious trouble here. Keza is well and truly all over this. On board now with the Ragged Edge Racing Aston Martin Vantage. One more lap. Yep, Rex is in serious trouble. He's in
the pits.
That's huge.
Quick splash. He's got 7 seconds. Debrev will come through.
Wow. So that...
Debrev's got plenty of fuel. He's managed it well.
Wow, so that's the podium for Debrev at this point. And Dazza might even make it. No, Dazza's in too, so the Corvette struggles happen yet again here.
On 0. He
wow.
Came in on 0.
So Keza's been able to make the fuel save last. Is he good enough to get home, is the real question.
This should be the last.
It should be the last lap.
Yep.
But is he going to be able to finish the last lap? Could Debrev look at a P2 possibly?
I think Keza will be right. As long as it is the last lap. Yeah, it will be the last lap.
I was going to say, imagine if Keza actually finished P3 here because he ran out of fuel. Oh boy.
Yeah. And Keza's done the 15 lap stint second, so
he's
that's
done
a really good fuel management.
He's done a great job tonight. He really has. As we've just ticked over. This will be the last lap, and Peteypops, well, he's done absolutely everything in his power, bar take the fastest lap, to try and give Rex a bit of a one last fighting chance, one last little hook.
This is the best race I've seen Poppers drive. He's managed it really well. Fuel, he hasn't taken risks. I can't recall too many mistakes. He's done a tremendous job.
He's flashing the lights as he goes through the final kink now. He's done a great job, Peteypops. Kept it clean set of heels. This will be a popular win. In Race 8, Division 4, he rounds out with a win here at Sardegna as Keza will come home in P2.
Yep, great. And Debrev, a very strategic third. He also managed that car well, fuel-wise.
But the man of the hour, he's going to go through the final kink. It's been a long time coming from Red Mist Racing. They've yearned for a champion for a very long time, but they now have one. Rex wins the Division 4 championship. An incredible achievement. Congratulations to Rex 098 and the guys at Red Mist Racing. You've got an absolute star here. What an absolutely awesome season for Rex.
Yeah, he's certainly been at the pointy end from the start of the season and never lacking for pace.
Oh boy.
Great championship win.
So Peteypops definitely won the battle, but Rex won the war. Congratulations goes to both of these guys and to all of the Division 4 races for this season. We've seen some absolutely incredible racing between them. And as you see there, Rex, he's not there, but there's Peteypops. He wins the race. Oh boy. Get your driver of the day in, guys, because that one was a spicy little meatball. And who are you going to give yours to, Graham? Who are you thinking?
Look, I really like the way Poppers managed that race, and that whole fuel, tyre, time management. But I've got to say, Keza, top job doing that, putting himself in a position where he could fight for not only a podium, but it's put him into second. So, probably driver of the day for me, Keza. But you can't take championship away from Rex. I'm pretty sure he's led it from start to finish, like Dadson did in Division 3, and that's not easy.
No, and apart from the one round he missed as well, he absolutely, really took these guys to a new level. So, and it took a lot to get the likes of took a lot to get these guys to put a big fight up with Rex, but they did a fantastic job making it hard for him. So, massive congratulations to Rex and the guys at Red Mist Racing. They'll be absolutely wrapped with that. And, of course, congratulations to Division 4. You've done some absolutely incredible racing this season. Highlight of the season, definitely Deep Forest. It was an awesome round, and can't forget how much fun that was. As, yeah, Carbon Boy, are you there? Are you still in the pit lane somewhere? Which pit bay are you in? If you're there, are you there? I think he's. I don't know whereabouts in the pit lane he might be. I know he's been.
If you look right behind you in the comms box, I may or may not be standing right here.
Oh, there you go. All right.
He's loaded up with some backers, courtesy of the Dudson Garage.
All right.
Yes, they've been very generous down there in the Dudson Racing Garage. I think it was a thank you for the near miss rather than a direct hit.
All right, guys. So we're going to take a quick break, quick 3 to 5 minute break. Stay tuned. Go to the loo, do what you need to do, grab a beer, grab a green beacon and celebrate to celebrate Rex's championship win. We will be back in a couple of minutes, but up next we are going to see Division 2, and there's another championship still yet to be decided there. So stay tuned, ladies and gentlemen. You won't want to miss this. And we are back, ladies and gentlemen, and unfortunately, being the idiot I was, I just didn't have the mic on. Anyway, let's get straight into the Action Division 2. Let's have a look at the points for these guys. Oh, jeez. And look at the championship here. So, mathematically, Stickers and evil-evo are still in the fight. They do have the young Wakey. The might of that locked-up Motorsport Aston has been absolutely phenomenal this season, and it's been a very, very tricky car to beat. That being said, he has had a couple of rounds where he really has struggled. I do believe he has had a couple of 7th place results. Old Wakey P4 at the moment. It's just ever so consistent he is. Lenocious in P5. Sort of fell off a little bit towards the end of the season. Race Fan in P6, continuing this CP Motorsports resurgence. The Bumcrack in P7 for Locked Up Motorsports, of course. Freelix for Ascension Racing in P8. Oz Pat Star in P9. Black Project in P10, of course. Missed a couple of rounds due to the spicy cough. Cruisin' is in P11. D-Flow P12, both for Racing Cars Like Legends, of course. Geesh, of course, had that massive round where he absolutely cleaned the field up, and Lucky in P14 has missed quite a few events. So that is a big look at this season so far, but the championship's still well and truly up, and I'll introduce my co-commentators now at this time. Of course, Carbon Boy, aka Luke, the dulcet tones. How are you, Luke?
I'm doing fantastic. How's things been in the comms box tonight for you so far?
Pretty good. You look like you've had too much cake downstairs, so...
There is no such thing as too much cake.
And
my
course...
waistline might disagree with that statement, but I'm sticking with it.
And of course, you're right, as usual. Joining us back in the box again, Graham, aka Guru, has decided to jump in for this one and keep an eye on things. So you still there, Graham?
Yep, absolutely. This is going to be a cracker.
Yep, agreed.
Just
and
loaded with talent, this field.
I think I might have, and I think I've been able to tune in with one of the teams, Racing Cars Like Legends. I think I might have D-Flow just sitting in the car at the moment. Are you in the car at the moment, D-Flow? Ready to go?
Good evening, folks. Yes, that's correct. I'm in the car, ready to go.
Beautiful. How are you feeling about tonight, mate?
Haven't had too much practice, if I'm quite honest, but let's give it a go. Let's see what happens.
All right, beautiful. Good luck, mate. And, of course, I think the other person that we've got hooked up, of course, thank you very much to the Racing Cars Like Legend boys for this. I think I might have Cruisin' on the mic. He's a bit harder to get to because his Dodge Viper's communications are just a bit... Are you there, Cruisin'?
Yes, yeah, I'm here.
How you feeling, mate? You feeling good?
Yeah, pretty good. I've got the Viper pretty dialed in, so super interesting.
All right. Good luck, guys. We'll leave you to it, and we'll get into the qualifying side of things. We're looking very much forward to this one. It's going to be an absolute belter, and we've seen quite a few of these guys be able to go within QE of each other. And we'll start from the top of the top. As I just flick through, of course. So, Pat Star.
I have been...
Oh, wait, you go.
Sorry, I have been keeping an eye on the guys tonight, so far in the practice sessions. You've got the usual suspects up the top of the table. You've got your young Wakey, you've got your evil-evo. A pleasant surprise is Race Fan for CP Motorsports. He's finding himself rather high up on the leaderboards again, finding a new surge of pace late in the season. The other surprise for me was watching Stickers. I'm sure Dadson from Dadson Racing is not going to like me saying this, but from what I've been seeing, Stickers seems to be struggling a little bit with the Aston Martin here tonight. So
yeah.
Not sure if that's a car setup or maybe a confidence thing, or it could just be another case of a Sector 1 driver proving me wrong, and he'll come out and top the timesheets in qualifying tonight.
Do you know what they say about the Datsun Racing boys? Industrial sandbags until the qualifying starts. Anyway, we'll leave.
Absolutely.
Anyway, we'll go through our field tonight. Of course, you just heard the absolutely beautiful voice of D-Flow there. Driving for Racing Cars Like Legends, and he has missed a couple of races due to real-life commitments. Got the wipers on as per normal in the Mercedes SLS. It will be very interesting to see a guy of this caliber, who is a Group A former Group A race winner actually, be able to do, especially with some missed time as he goes very wide into turn 1. And of course the next guy came off the rank, evil-evo, one of our championship protagonists. He's going to need a big result tonight, but not only that, he's going to need some bit of help from the Lord above, because that gap at the championship looking very hard to beat. We've got Oz Patstar, his teammate for Doghouse, and he is driving the I've forgotten what the red Ninja Turtle's called now, gee God. Anyway, Oz...
Raphael,
there
you
we go.
heathen.
I was a Dragon Ball fan. Anyway, I've seen a few of Pat Star's races, and he's been there or thereabouts. When he's on, he's on. When he's not, it does go a little bit wrong. He's got Old Wakey behind him for company, and I have to say, Old Wakey this season should be very proud of his efforts. One of the most consistent drivers on the grid, and he's definitely been knocking at the door of the Division 1 for a little while. And then when he's made it, he's done very well over in that land. We've got Lenocious in the Obsession Motorsport Mercedes SLS, and sort of just dropped off a little bit this season, just like he smacked the wall then. And then might check up the other two in front. The other two, we'll leave it there. I can't spell.
He's managed to get well out of the way of both Wacky and Race Fan.
So speaking of young Wacky, here he is, our championship leader, aka championship elect at this stage. See what lap time he's got. It's a 1:42.4 at this stage. And the big surprise... Yeah, I was about to say...
Patstar going top of the timesheets with a 40.9 first flyer. He is not mucking around.
That is a brutally quick lap time. So, speaking of our other man, Race Fan, P3 at the moment for CP Motorsports. He's had this bit of late season resurgence. He struggled early on in terms of tuning the Aston, but we know what CP Motorsports have in their arsenal. We know what they're capable of, and it's really benefited Race Fan in the last 2 or 3 rounds this season. He's been very quick. We've got Freelix for Ascension Racing. Freelix has just had a little bit of a baptism of fire, so to speak, this season, as he's purple right now. He's doing a great job, though. That's probably... I don't want to put the cat amongst the pigeons there, but Adam, I think that is the best looking livery of all the Ascension Racing cars, I'm not going to lie. As we've got stickers, as we've seen before, just maybe lacking a little bit of confidence. We've got Black Project, of course, in arguably the best looking car on the grid for the Blacklight Ammo Racing guys, Blacklight Motorsport, of course. He's been there or thereabouts the last couple of rounds in terms of qualifying. His race pace has been very strong, though. He's looked very confident. And I think that might be the honour.
Felix just bumped the wall.
Oh, he did too.
He was 4 tenths up on his best.
Just keeping an eye as well on our last man that we need to wrap off, Cruisin'. And you heard Cruisin' before say the Viper is feeling dialed in. That Viper looking very sharp. A little bit of a change in colour tonight from the Viper, of course. They usually run white. D-Flow goes 1 minute 42 flat. Patstar leads the way at the moment with evil-evo right behind. And in terms of the championship side of things, you probably... if you're evil-evo, you're not feeling too good about that, because you're wanting to... You're wanting to be on pole. You want that extra 2 points. As he goes purple, so maybe I'm speaking too soon.
Now, I have noticed that the times the guys are currently running, I have seen very low 1 minute 40s to the tune of 40.2, 40.3 in the practice sessions. Now, I'm not sure if the viewers at home will be able to notice in the background the blades of those windmills, how fast they are spinning at the moment, because currently, down the main straight, these guys have a 7.7 metre a second headwind. Yeah. Which translates into a massive tailwind going down the back straight. So they might need to just adjust their braking markers by 10 or so meters. Otherwise, they might find themselves going a little bit deeper into that corner than they originally planned to.
Yeah, keeping an eye on evil-evo here, and he's he might have just got caught out through the snake in that wind breeze. He's just really copped it coming onto the front straight. Little bit of understeer. It's looking like a good time. 41 flat. That is a strong time. As young Wakey, there he is. Look at that time. A 1 minute 40.3. That is disgustingly quick.
Once again, Sector 1 drivers proving me wrong. That's what I love to see.
Old Wakey, P5 at the moment, doing a great job. And he's got a bit of a slipstream as Black Project does a 1 minute 42.7. The big surprise for me at the moment is definitely Pat Star, P2. And he will not care about this championship one little bit. So if young Wakey and Pat Star go head to head, if Pat Star gets the elbows out, oh boy, that'll be an interesting little spicy meatball.
He's currently got his teammate evil-evo a mere 500ths behind him. So whether he wants to get the elbows out with his teammate, I'm not sure.
Yeah, I reckon race fan. He was purple behind young Wakey on that lap, and he just glanced the wall, so made it strategic, called into the pits. But he was really quick.
I think you might be right on the big surprise for Stickers as well. He won't have had as much practice today because I do know he was at Perth for the UFC. I might have spotted him in the crowd on the TV. As evil-evo had a very big moment. You just seen his lap's gone. Might actually help Pat Star here with a bit of a slipstream, but let's see what happens. evil-evo comes in.
Young Wakey's on a flyer here.
Oh no.
Oh no.
No, might be just, oh no, 40.7. That's still quicker than second place.
evil-evo and Lenosis both into the pits.
Just trying to see who's the first of the leaders of the guys that have a bit further down on the front straight now as Cruisin comes across the line. Good lap time, puts him P7 at the moment, 1 minute 41.4. Oh, and evil-evo's just had to get out of the way a little bit. Might have compromised Cruisin just that tiny bit, but that is a strong lap.
Just going to keep an eye on Freelix in his pit stop here. He was a little bit loose coming into the pits there, so just want to see if he cops that nasty penalty or not.
No, I think he's okay. Got away with it.
He's gotten away with that.
So you can usually see the gaps in Group B are very, very tight. It's probably one of the tightest groups in all of Sector 1, but the gap at the moment between young Wakey and Pat Star, that's just probably a bit too big at this stage. These boys want to rein that in pretty quick. Young Wakey's just got a bit of oversteer moment. Doesn't graze the wall though. He's done a great job to hold on to that. That is great car control.
Oh, Cruisin has done the right thing. He was coming into the braking zone at the end of the back straight, and rather than go straight into the back of evil-evo, he's chosen to abort, just pulled it off the track. Unfortunately, he's collected the wall on his way through.
I think the big thing as well there, evil-evo was on an outlap, so he's just heating the tyres up, which is great news as Lenosius goes very wide. Oh, that was scary to watch. These guys will be starting to pit now as evil-evo becomes the first of the fresh fuel tyre runners. Takes a lot of that exit curb on the front straight. Oh, hopefully he doesn't run into traffic here. Oh, he's been checked up. Oh, there's contact. That's both the doghouse cars into the wall.
A race fan who, there's Pat Star having a moment at turn 1.
That is enormous.
Oh, race fan getting checked up by evil-evo there. He had just set himself a fastest time of a 1 minute 40.8, putting himself into P2. And then all that drama has unfolded in front of him and checked him up massively for this lap. So,
oh, that was enormous.
Be a brawl in the kennel.
And the doghouse boys will well and truly be in the doghouse. Team owner, the stranger, will be absolutely... Well, it's not 9 o'clock yet, so I can't swear, but the word starts with P and ends with a D.
I'm pretty sure I can hear flat stick from pit lane from here. And if I look down, yep, he's wandering over from the CP garage over to the doghouse garage. Looks like he might be having a bit of a word with the doghouse team owner.
I can tell you right now from
Yeah,
experience,
that
you don't want to have a word with Flat Stick in terms of contact, because yeah, he flies off the handle quite a bit. Anyway, keeping an eye on evil-evo.
If they're lucky, he might just flash his headlights at them a few times.
Very, very true. As I've got a feeling that evil-evo's got a lot more pace in that car than what we think. But he's definitely going to have to reset and go again. Young Wakey's just started his flyer now, so he'll probably have 2 laps to go. There's a big gap in the middle of the field, though, between Pat Star and... I think it might be Cruisin', actually. Yes, Pat Star and Cruisin'. There's a big gap between these guys as Lenosius improves to 5th. These guys all
Does very well there with a 141.1.
Freelik's doing a good job at the moment, P8. He's ahead of some very established names as well. D-Flow, Stickers and Black Project. D-Flow's been out of the car for a while, so all can be forgiven in that regard. There's Stickers. P5.
The wind is getting pretty hectic here at the moment. It's up to 8.4 meters a second.
So I think we might jump on board with the young Wakey now. Locked Up Motorsports, our champion-elect at this stage. Look at the turn-in on the front of that Aston Martin. Just grips. He's able to put the foot down nice and early. Great balance. He's only down slightly as he enters the snake. And a little bit of a big moment on the exit. He's throwing absolutely everything at this, though. If he wins this championship tonight, you can bet your bottom dollar he is going to be a massive threat to a lot of guys in Division 1. And those boys in Division 1 are probably nervous at this guy's pace, because as young as he is, he's only going to improve. That's the scariest bit of all.
Just riding on board with the Gnosis here.
Oh.
He was up on his personal best time in that last sector. It's onto the main straight. He could be looking into the 40s here.
Well,
Oh.
young Wakey did a 40.2, extends the gap even further, and Race Fan improved as well, but it's still a half a second gap between them. Keep an eye on Pat Star at the moment, and he's well and truly backed out of that, so I don't think there'll be much more time left in this qualifying session for these guys. Stickers P5 at this point. Cruising does 1 minute 41.1. It's a good lap. There is hundreds between quite a lot of these guys, so anything can happen as Stickers goes to P3. It's a strong lap, a 1 minute 40.8.
And
Right.
race fans, 0.16 up, purple.
I'm pretty sure
First-
this will
first
be the
sector.
last lap for all of these guys.
On board the CP Motorsports Aston Martin now for race fan 988. Former champion of the BMW M4 Series. What'll be scary now is how much pace does Wakey actually have? Does he have even more in the tank? Because if you're seeing a half second gap like that, you're pretty disheartened by Wakey's pace. Race fans,
0.08.
yeah, still purple.
As we know, though, there
Oh,
is
Wakey's in the wall! Or is that bump track? They've both got Corvettes.
there's qualifying pace, and then there's race pace. So, I mean, even still, it is a little bit scary, not going to lie.
See what race fan can
Just
do.
trying to give the guys down the field a little more confidence. Come on, guys, you know you can do it.
Race fan, what more
This
does
will
he
be
have?
close.
This will be tight. Oh, wow. 1 minute 40.7. So all that time is lost in that last sector. That's huge. D-Flow sets 1 minute 41.1. That's a strong time. Even in this field, it's miraculously tight. Keep an eye on Freelix. Can he go faster? He's looking good.
Just on board with Stickers here. He's looking good for a quick lap. Might just pip race fan.
Oh,
No,
he doesn't. And that'll be qualifying, run and done. As I've been corrected, Mr. Bumcrack, he's not in the field tonight, unfortunately. It is old Wakey. You know, that very, very big moment, and that's a big surprise. That is a massive surprise. P7 for old Wakey. He's going to have some work to do. But big congratulations to young Wakey, who takes pole position. And he's definitely put a marker on the field now. With that pole position, that takes his championship lead to 27 points, am I right in saying? Oh, no.
Cricket's chirping. I have no idea.
I think he was 25 points ahead, if I remember correctly. So that would be 27 points. So unless there's a disconnect, I don't think we will see. Don't think we'll see young Wakey with that kind of pace be troubled in terms of the championship. But that's a scary prospect. 1 minute 40.2. That car is well and truly dialed in. Race fan with a 1 minute 40.703. And Stickers with a 1 minute 40.8 for P3. So feeling a bit better in that Dadson Racing Aston Martin, but top 5 cars in the field, all Aston Martins. That's a scary, scary prospect if you're in any of the other cars at the moment. The Astons are well and truly up and about. So we're just about to get started here in Sardegna, the final race of Season 6 Reloaded. It has been a long, arduous task, but we've finally gotten there. Gran Turismo 7's didn't really help us out, but we are...
It has been a little bit rough, let's be honest.
Yeah,
it's been a little rough, but we've gotten through it.
We've been kicked around, boxed around, and hasn't been fun, but we're finally here. We're just waiting for these guys to get moving and get underway.
Cars are rolling. Green flag is go.
And we are underway. Young Wakey will have to put up with a big slipstream to get things rolling. But this is a very angry battle pack as Stickers has a bit of a look. Goes in the P2. No, he doesn't. Look at they've all got through. Oh, Felix was a little bit wide. He'll get swallowed up there. Must have been a little bit of contact, but these guys have managed to keep it well in the first corner. Old Wakey and Lenosius having a little bit of a dogfight. Old Wakey wants to get it done, but can he go around the outside and get it done? The Corvette's a bullet in a straight line.
Lenosius very firmly holding his ground there, as he had every right to, but unfortunately the Mercedes against the Corvette in a straight line. Yeah,
I agree completely. And look at this, young Wakey is just absolutely driven off. So he's having an absolute storming start at this point. Look at this battle for top 5 at the moment. Patstar thought about it.
I genuinely thought Patstar was going to have a bit of a look down the inside of evil-evo there, but thought better of it, backed out.
The Dadson Doghouse battle reignited.
Yep, the final race of the season wouldn't be a race without a Dadson Doghouse battle. It's been a great duel between these two squads.
As D-Flow goes down the inside of Cruising.
Very good move. This battle pack is, like, this whole pack is still very, very tight within each other. Look at that. Oh, this battle towards the back is a bit feisty. On board now with D-Flow, who's got a big look at his teammate cruising a black project. And Felix has a big look at it both. There's a bit of contact. There's a little bit of argy-bargy, but Felix backs out of that. Good sportsmanship. So we can get that on a replay, because that was a pretty wild move going into turn 1. See, a little bit of contact there, but all's fair in love and war. I've just realised I haven't had the timer set off, so we'll just ignore that. But young Wakey at the moment, less than a second the gap. Race fan sticking with him at this point. Stickers P3. The Doghouse duo of evil-evo and Patstar. 4th and 5th. We got Old Wakey, the first of the non-Astons. P6 at this point. Can he nail another top 5? Fuel will be a critical component for him. He's got Lenosius in the mirror still. D-Flow up to P8 now. That's a great start from D-Flow, our former BMW M3 champion. His clouds is just starting to roll over a little bit at this point. Felix has another big look.
It is pretty cloudy here at Sardegna. And, the wind has settled down a little bit. still pretty strong at 6.9 meters a second, but
And it's gaining.
hopefully it can blow some of those clouds away.
Having a sip of water and I'm choking because of Wakey's time. Wow. Oh, Wakey
Yeah,
had a
pretty
big
sure
moment.
pretty sure that's the breathing tube there, Karen.
Oh, dear God, I just took a sip to try and get my voice box going, and I nearly choked on that lap time. Holy jeez.
I can attest, Shiraz.
That's a good point. Anyway, as I try to recover from that little battle, the Doghouse boys having a little bit of a slobber knocker, and then it gets a bit more violent towards the back end of the grid here, because these boys from Old Wakey down, they are not messing about.
Race fan just clipped the arm coat.
Still okay at the moment. We saw young Wakey out the exit of turn 1 there. He just had a bit of an oversteering moment. The car did not look comfortable at all.
Oh, Lenosis down the back straight is checked up. Sorry, D-Flow is just checked up cruising a little bit on the back straight, who has a very feisty looking Black Project and Freelix hot on his heels. So further, like 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, no, basically 6th through to 11th. Anyone puts a foot wrong, it's going to be a bad time.
Yeah, and I think Race Fan might have put another foot wrong because he's fallen back into the clutches of Stickers here. The gap between Wakey and Race Fan now 1.9 seconds. Seems like Stickers is just starting to range in a little bit. But
Yeah, he's definitely taken the sandbags out of the boot now that it's race time.
the Doghouse boys definitely are up and about at the moment too. Look at this battle down here on the back on the front straight here. Lenocious just having to keep an eye on things. D-Flow, of course, got the wipers on, might be preparing for the rain. He's starting to cloud over again.
I am officially nicknaming D-Flow Wiperman.
He did that in the BMWs too, actually. I'll remember that. I didn't see much of the front end because he was always in front of me, but we'll leave it there. Speaking of in front at the moment, Race Fan in front of Stickers. The battle just starting to brew up a little bit. These guys, very clean racing for Group B so far, but you can tell there's a little bit of a split between the field at the moment. The top 5 really starting to get away from the rest of the pack. As evil-evoIX runs out a little bit wide, just compromises his exit. Muffin's chimed in, and I am not going to respond to that one. Oh, evil-evoIX had a big oversteering moment then. Was able to hold it on the snake, but you don't want to make a mistake there. And we saw even the Group A boys make quite a few mistakes there last week. And that was an interesting little aspect of last week's race. The fact that a few big names really did clobber the wall. And it's very, very easy to do. This grass here is very slippery. The soil very dense as well. As Carbon Boy's got his green thumbs out. Just seeing the gloves there.
I thought you were going to lead into that with, speaking of dense, here's Carbon Boy.
Oh no, we're not that bad. Anyway, Cruisin's going to have a big look at D-Flow here. The 2 racing cars like Legends boys. On board now and with D-Flow Cruisin's got through. And
Here
Black
comes
Project.
Black Project.
Oh wow, Black Project just goes up the inside. Is he going to
Don't
get it
mind
done?
if I do, he says.
Is he going to get done? We'll wait and see. D-Flow has a little bit of weed exit on the exit.
D-Flow acting like the perfect wingman there for cruising.
He's been out of the seat a very long while too, D-Flow, so he has to basically shake off what we call the race rust. Black Project, this could be a 3-way battle down the back straight as they go into I don't even know.
Yeah, Freelix wants to get involved here too by the look of it, but yeah, 3 wide into this corner, boys. Please don't, please don't.
Oh, D-Flow, a little bit of oversteer on the exit. Black Project's going to get through. Freelix has got the car up to the outside now. And he gets it done as well, so D-Flow's just had a bit of a struggle of a lap. Black Project uses a lot of the exit on the snake.
Lenosis is not letting old Wakey get too far away from him. He's dropped back just out of effective slipstream range, but still keeping in touch quite well.
Back up this battle with the top 5 at the moment. There's 3 seconds between Pat Star and Wakey, and that gap keeps increasing. I don't think Wakey's got anything in terms of the pace to keep up with these guys. And in terms of fuel and strategy, that's going to be the trickiest bit of all. We've seen the Corvette last race, and especially last week. It really did not want to. It didn't want to play ball at any stage. So it's not a bit unfortunate, but the gap is definitely increasing between these Astons and old Wakey. Just keep an eye on young Wakey at the moment. It's 2.5 seconds to the good, and then it's the gaggle of Astons behind. These Astons, though, they're very, very well suited to the Mediterranean regions in terms of their looks. They look a very elegant car, is probably the best way to put it. And they sound fantastic as well, we're not going to lie. Looks like Stickers might just be starting to hold up the doghouse boys a little bit. Try to get on board, but didn't really work.
If you stay on board with them, I'm just keeping an eye back down on the field with Black Project, who is not letting Cruise and get away from him, as both of them go very sideways through turn 13. If that wasn't so terrifying, that was quite beautiful.
Yeah, it looks like...
He's now right under the rear wing of that Dodge Viper coming onto the main straight, so he might just be able to get past him here on the straight, if not under brakes.
Go on board now with Black Project cruising. Black Project might have a bit of a higher downforce setup maybe compared to the Viper. We know the Viper's got a big dirty 8-litre V10 and a very bad rear badge as well that acts as a taillight. Black Project at the moment doing a great job. P9 at this point, he's always had better race pace than he has as Cruising goes a little bit wide. Is Black Project gonna have a look? Thinks about it. He's definitely setting it up as Lenocious and Old Wakey. What these two are doing right now, battling, is they're letting Black Project cruise and Freelix as well. They're coming into it. So what's happened to D-Flow there? 4 seconds behind at this point. So something big's happened there.
He's not carrying any damage. I think he might have just had a few small moments that have all added up to a little bit of time.
Look at young Wakey's pace at the moment. He's purple at the moment, halfway through lap 7. 2.9 seconds to the good. He's just in a league of his own at the moment. That Aston Martin this season has looked very, very settled. This is a guy, make no bones about it, next season. It's going to be very, very hot property. There'll be some more established teams definitely looking for his signature, as he sets the fastest lap of the race with a 1 minute 40.9.
And he's doing those times in the low 141s, and his fuel management is outstanding.
That's scary. That's essentially what Division 1 have to put up with next season.
Yeah, and the top 5 are all well and truly entrenched in the 141 flats to
That's
pretty
crazy.
much half a second bit. 141.5. It's just incredible, the pace.
So while those guys, while they're racing for real, we'll go back to the fun race. Lenocious, P6 at the moment. He's got Old Wakey and P7. Old Wakey seems to be really struggling tonight. Usually he's up and about in that top 5 battle, but just doesn't seem to have the edge in terms of the race pace. He's had a 1 minute 44 lap on lap 6, so he's been battling a little bit. As Old Wakey's got Cruising all over his rear end. And this is Cruising. This is a guy, make no bones about it, you give him even a little bit of a gap, he'll go for it. It's one guy you don't...
Corvette Viper drag race down the back straight, and Black Project in the Aston sitting in the slipstream of that, and they are bearing down on the poor unsuspecting Mercedes of Lenosis. So Lenosis, you better get a wiggle on, mate, because you've got 3 very quick cars chasing you right now.
Yeah. Oh, as Freelix goes wide, very sideways. That is great car control, though. We will catch that on our replay.
Cruising going very defensive against Black Project into the braking zone there.
You saw Freelix, just watch this. Just goes off. Massive tail slide. Then he's able to hold it. It was a great job to hold that, though. Oh. As one Sean Ghostmoller would say, aka our Hall of Famer, the Golden Mike. Car control. Back up towards the front now. It's Stickers. He's lost that gap with Race Fan. So that gap that was basically nothing is now 1.7 seconds. It looks like he's got a little bit of oversteer as well on the rear end. The car just sliding a little bit. Evil-evo's there as well. These two are our major championship fighters against Young Wakey. And at the moment, Young Wakey will extend that gap even further at this point. But evil-evo, P3 at the moment in the championship, he is fighting Stickers, so make no bones about it. There's still a lot on the line for these two here. As they go into I don't even know.
So before we have my team owner screaming in the YouTube chat, how about a fuel and tyre update?
Yep, I can see Brewski's already put up a sign in the window saying fuel and tyre update, please. So we better get on to that. Anyway, Young Wakey, how's he doing?
Stickers just made a blue there, and Evil's got... Oh, yep, he's got the inside.
Oh, yep, there's a bit of a move here, and there's a tiny bit of contact.
As Gerd did mention earlier, Young Wakey's fuel management is pretty darn good. For tyre wear, he's sitting on about between 15 and 20% wear front and rear, and he's down to just over 40% left in the tank as he gets very loose coming out of turn 1. Race fan is down to about 40% fuel with a fraction more tyre wear. As we know, this race isn't about tyres, it is about fuel management, but it still helps to have some rubber underneath the car. Evil-evo is doing slightly better than Race Fan in terms of fuel, but slightly worse off in terms of tyre wear. Stickers, who is under fire from Pat, has just been overtaken by Pat Star into Church Corner.
I tell you what, he's been under fire for at least half a lap, and he was very defensive as well. He's been knocked around a little bit the last 2 laps. I'm hearing from the, I might be hearing actually from the stranger, the TO Doghouse, there was no contact between evil-evo and Stickers. So we'll get back to our fuel and tyre update. I do apologise.
So rearranging the order a little bit, thank you Padstar. He is probably about 20% worn on the tyres front and rear, as he has a little bit of a moment through turn 13. And he's down to near on 30% fuel left in the tank. Stickers is basically identical in terms of fuel and tyres. Old Wakey is coming under fire from Lenosis
again.
I don't know. Actually, no, that's not I don't know.
No, that's not.
I have no idea.
That's the corner name we're calling that one now.
Yeah, the I don't know and I have no idea as he moves up into P6. Can you guys stop overtaking each other for a second and stop messing with my order? As I think Old Wakey's going to have another go into... No, he's backed out of it. He's not going to have
Cruisin' thought about it though. He definitely thought about that.
Thank you to Old Wakey for listening and not messing with my fuel and tyre order. Lenosis is actually doing fantastic in terms of fuel. He's well above everyone else. He's probably on 40% in the tank at this point in time and about 20% worn on the tyres. Old Wakey is between 25 and 30% left in the tank and probably about 25% worn on the front, about 20% on the rear. Cruisin' is slightly more worn on the front tyres and on the rear as well, and very close to a quarter of a tank left of fuel. Black Project doing a little bit healthier. He's probably 25% worn on the tyres, maybe 27-28% left in the tank. Black Project near on identical in terms of fuel, but is doing slightly better in terms of tyre wear. D-Flow is probably about 30% left in the tank, 20% worn on the tyres, and Felix, who must have had a heck of a moment, finds himself back in P11. He's got about 30% of fuel in the tank, but those front tyres are not his biggest fans at the moment. They are near on 40% worn. They are not having a good time on the front end of that Aston at the moment.
Speaking of front ends, I think Cruisen's going to send his front end down into turn 1 on old Wakey. And he's able to pull it up. That's a great move. Oh, a little bit of contact, but they get it done. Strong move from Cruisen. We'll get that on a replay.
And just before that, we had a bit of a moment with...
Oh, there's contact!
Old Wakey!
There's
Old Wakey
massive
has
contact!
tagged the back of Cruisen.
Wow.
That is huge.
He has done the right thing. He's gotten on the anchors immediately and redressed the situation.
And because I was so excited, I can't do a replay. Damn it! Ah, jeez.
It unfortunately doesn't give the positions back to Cruisen, but it does show a fantastic level of sportsmanship, which is what we do like to see.
We saw that in the little corner on the live section as we were looking at Cruisen into turn 1. It was a fantastic move, but it's so unfortunate. That was a great battle there, and all they can do now is get their heads down. There's still 30 minutes to go. Plenty of time in this race. And what that has done is let Black Project off the hook, who just hits the wall. And can he save it? Oh, he's clobbered the wall on the other side.
Star's hit the Armco as well, coming onto the main straight. So
It might be a little bit tougher in this field, but a comeback from P10 is entirely possible.
Yep, we saw that last week from yourself.
Might be a little more difficult in the Division 2.
So Black Project now, because of that great bit of car control, that could have easily have flipped the rear end around. That's put D-Flow in quite a strong position here. He's got the slipstream now. The Mercedes just doesn't have the grunt of the Aston, so D-Flow is going to have to use all of his driver skill here, and Felix is coming with them. Gap just blew out a little bit. There was a bit of a mistake at turn 1. Just go back up to the front now, though, and young Wakey, 3.8 seconds to the good. He is just seriously comfortable right now in that car. This race fan is in P2. evil-evo P3 at the moment, so evil-evo's been able to clear stickers by quite a bit. As OzPatstar 2.7 seconds behind, then Lenocious, who's starting to actually make ground on Patstar at this stage. Then you got this battle.
I've just been keeping an eye on this mid-pack with Lenocious and Patstar. Lenocious has taken half a second out of Patstar just in that first sector alone. And he's also got quite the healthy fuel advantage over him as well. So with a pit stop coming up very shortly, Patstar goes wide at turn 13, just clips the wall.
Oh, Lenocious did too. Lenocious did too. That wind is really playing havoc right now. Black Project did as well. Second lap in a row. D-Flow goes through. So the wind is playing a massive factor at this point.
It has changed direction by a good 45 degrees.
See if we can
Actually, a good 90 degrees, my mistake.
Yeah, pushing them out.
Yeah.
Turn 13.
So we saw just then 3 cars just basically go side by side into the wall, and the wind is changing direction slightly, slowly but surely too.
That is a 90-degree change of wind direction, and with slightly worn tyres, if the drivers are not paying attention, that's going to catch them out there.
Yeah, look at this battle now. D-Flow's gone past Black Project because of that big moment. Felix is now hungry for a position, and he's just made no bones about it. He's looking for it. On board the Ascension Racing Aston Martin.
Ooh. Well, this is the
We
undercut
have
lap.
one.
Will we see it?
We have 1, 2, 3 drivers in the top 5 who are currently on the fuel light.
Fuel light, yeah.
And I'm safe to say that young Wakey is not one of them.
He's not.
That's a safe bet.
He's a wizard.
Oh, he's just in a class of
I
one.
will give you 2 guesses as to who has the worst situation.
I'll give you 2 guesses as to who's battling at the moment as they go up. I have no idea. Felix gets the job done. Great move.
I think we might see maybe Race Fan and Stickers go the undercut.
I think at this point it might be worth a look, but the times, they're driving so fast at this point, you leave yourself compromised in terms of fuel.
Yeah,
Well,
Race Fan's in.
That's exactly why they might try the undercut, because their fuel tanks are
Yeah, it was very low.
compromised.
Yeah, they're definitely not getting around for another lap. And Pat Star's in as well, so Evil Evo and Young Wakey, this might just benefit Evil Evo at this point. Lenocious goes again.
And Evil and Young Wakey were neck and neck on fuel.
Oh, that's interesting.
And they've just hit the fuel light as Wacky goes really wide there at turn 5. Getting out on the
7.4
marbles.
seconds to 7.4 is...
Yeah, he did that fuel save in the front with no help.
That's crazy. He's improved out of sight. We knew he had already become a quick driver last season. Narrowly missing out on the Rising Star Award to Stickers, in fact. Who...
So out of all the drivers who have not pit yet, which is the top 6, Lenosis is the only one who is not yet on the fuel light.
That's interesting, because Lenocious could make some ground here in the fuel stop. He actually was only about 3 seconds behind Pat Star at that point.
Oh, Wakey hit the wall. Just a tap.
Young
Turn 13.
Young or old? Oh, yeah, young.
Young.
Oh, wow. Wow. So fatigue might be creeping in a little bit.
And Lenocious tyres are in really good nick, so he's carrying damage into the pits.
Yeah, that's a bad omen. Is he going?
Oh no, he's going in.
He's going in again. Oh, he was close to that blend line then. that was very close. And Evil Evo is going to come in as well.
Oh, was there a bit of a cross of a solid line there for Evil Evo?
So is Lenocious going to go around again? If I'm Lenocious, I'm pitting here.
Nah, he's in. He's in.
Yep, that's a big fuel save too.
Yep.
D-Flow comes in as well. See what Black Project does. He's probably going to go around. Not going to go around again. Oh, I don't know. He's definitely coming in. And Old Wakey comes in at this point as well. So we want to keep our eyes on Race Fan. Young Wakey had a bit of a gap to him. What's the outlap light for Race Fan? Young Wakey's moving. Young Wakey well and truly clear. Evil Evo's out in P3 at the moment.
Gets away without an invoice.
Just trying to find Stickers at the moment. Stickers and Pat Star have just come out. And Lenocious has closed that gap up a little bit, but not that much. So that top 5 or 6 at the moment. Ooh, that could be tight.
He has closed that gap up. Pat Star has not full fueled. Lenosis has, which makes me think that he's just going to put the hammer down for this session.
Yeah, I agree. At this point, you're halfway through the race. You may as well put the foot down. That's what you've got to be cautious of. But the thing is, when do you put the foot down? Because you don't want to use too much of the tyre too early. Otherwise, you won't have that yield towards the end of the race, especially if they're struggling on fuel. You want to make sure that you have good grip ready to go and be able to put a big fight on. Stickers 6.6 seconds behind Evil Evo, though. That is a huge gap. So Stickers is he full fueled, or is Evil Evo full?
Yeah.
Evil Evo would have been very close to full fuel.
Yeah.
Stickers
and
no.
Are a little bit less.
Yeah. I was about to say that's interesting because in terms of the fuel, if these guys start fighting, and then all of a sudden they're struggling on fuel, Lenocious is there.
Oh, D-Flow. Off the grass, mate. Off the grass. There you go.
Oh, just missed that. And he's just understeered.
He's got dirty tyres.
Yeah.
Felix is going to have a big... Oh, big hit for D-Flow.
He's hit the wall. Yeah.
Oh, that's a bad time.
That was a very bad time. We'll get on board with the replay. We're on board with Felix when it happened, so you can see the understeer of the Mercedes because of the dirty tyres. Just couldn't recover it and then clobbers the wall.
It is tough. Section of grass. If you apply too much steering lock, the car just turns around on you. And the same as if you give it too much throttle, it will just, again, turn around on you. And then you're in the wall, facing the wrong direction.
This is a great great job by Pat Starr at the moment. He's putting it up to Stickers, who has raced in Group A and has actually been one of the guys that can really do well in Group A in the first division, of course. So Pat Starr doing a fantastic job at this point.
He's been getting a handy tow too for the last 1.5 laps. That could pay dividends at the other end.
Yeah, especially if Stickers is struggling with fuel. Pat Starr could be in real trouble. The gap actually back to Lenocious is increasing, if anything. They're looking very strong, but they don't want to fight too hard. So they go up the snake.
Speaking of Lenosis, that gap between him and Patstar has just crept out to the 4-second mark right now.
Oh, Lenocious has clobbered the wall! He hit that pretty hard too.
That wind direction has shifted 45 degrees, so it's blowing from left to right as they're going down the main straight now.
They've got a tailwind all through the snake.
Bang! He hit that wall extremely hard, so he probably have damage from that. Patstar lost out a little bit, 1.5 seconds behind. But this battle between Felix and Tiflo, round 5, this is heating up again. Look at the rear view mirrors.
Carried damage down the whole straight.
Oh, Tiflo's gone for the Michael Schumacher move, feints to the outside to the inside. He's going to have a big look up. Can he get it done? Good move, gets it done. That had to happen. So go up the front now. Wakey, 4.4 seconds clear. He's just absolutely flying at this point. Race fan in P2, 2.3 seconds behind him is evil-evo, the first of Wakey's championship battlers. 8 seconds behind now is Stickers. Ozpatstar in 5th. Lenocious is just behind in P6, but he is much better on fuel. D-Flow in P7th.
Don't count Cruising out of this D-Flow Felix battle either. He's slowly making inroads to the back of Felix.
So Felix at the moment is an Ascension Racing driver stuck in the middle of an RCLL sandwich.
He might just need to watch his fuel situation though. He's below 3/4 of a tank with that Viper.
Behind that Viper is Black Project and Old Wakey P11 at the moment, so that Corvette really suffered in terms of fuel usage, and that's been par for the course for the round. And
Felix has had a moment at T13, goes defensive into I have no idea, but he now has a very angry Dodge Viper on his rear bumper down the main straight.
Yep, that Viper is going to cause major havoc here for Felix. A little bit of a love tap from behind. You can see the rear view mirrors are full of the Racing Cars Light Legends Dodge Viper. He's Cruising, going to have a big look. He goes outside. Felix goes defensive.
Switch back in.
Holding that defensive line all the way down the straight. Very good. Not making any untowards movements. Just
clip the grass a
marking
little
his territory and holding firm.
Cruising just clip the grass a tiny bit. The grass in between the apex and the curb there, and it just lightly unsettled the car as Felix just goes off a little bit.
We like to call that a bit of a pucker moment.
What that has done is let D-Flow skip out by 2 seconds. He's well and truly clear of those. As Patstar, the gap is starting to just stagnate a little bit. 1.6 seconds between these two. And Patstar, a big favour for Patstar if he got past Stickers, especially for the championship. Oh, Stickers is in the wall. Patstar has followed him. So that wind is starting to play a bit of havoc, and Stickers' dirty tyres can't pull the car up. Patstar was able to. So that wind is starting to play havoc along the snake there. Felix has also run a little bit wide. Young Wakey, though, still 5 seconds clear. He's got one hand and 4 fingers on the title.
I have to take my Obsession Motorsport earpiece out at the moment because I'm hearing nothing but profanity coming from the radio at the moment. I was riding on board Lenosis and he's just suffered that, lag problem that he's been having all season, unfortunately. He went from 3.5 seconds behind Pat Starr. He's now back to 5.6.
That's not good. He was doing a
the
great
car
job.
Literally just stopped, skipped backwards, and then continued on, and the delta increased by nearly 2 seconds. So
that's, yeah.
I can understand the frustration from him at the moment.
I don't blame him.
Not good to see.
I don't blame him at all. And it's been an issue that's plagued him all season long as well. It's not just been a once-off or anything like that. It's been a bit of an issue for him. As speaking of issues, Race Fan, that gap between himself and Evil Evo is really starting to close at this point. 1.4, 1.3 now. So 1.1. So Evil Evo's got the bit between the teeth here. This is interesting. Because these two...
They might have made a mistake on the lap because they've been trading lap times to the 10.
141.8.
Yeah, 42.9. 41.8? Yeah.
So there's been a big moment for Race Fan there, for sure.
Yep.
And
Evil Evo's done the 41.8. Race Fan's done a 42.9. So there's a second right there.
And before that, they were trading tenths.
And
maybe turn 13 has reared its head again.
The wind is really going to be starting to play a factor here. Especially for those cars with high downforce. Ozpat Star's just started to have creep up a little bit again on stickers.
Pat Star's definitely putting himself up there. If he can keep going the way he's been going all race, he's definitely putting himself in the contention for driver of the day with this effort.
Yeah, I agree. And looking at the moment at Race Fan, the gap is under a second now, so this battle may just start to heat up. Keep an eye as they go through turn 13, because it seems like these guys, once they hit the snake, the wind just really starts to play a factor. Oh, you see the car is just unsettled. Race Fan the car just did not want to bite.
On turn in, both of them had to double take the corner, double pump it.
Yep. Pat Star looked significantly better than Stickers there, albeit he had less pace through there. It just seems like the
both
wind...
drivers being very, very cautious through that section now.
I'll tell you who's doing a really, really good job at the moment is the guy that a lot of people say there's a bromance with, D-Flow. He's P7 at the moment, started P10, but the gap between himself and Lenosius is starting to drop a little bit. He just set his fastest lap of the race to D-Flow, a 1 minute 41.7, in contrast to Lenosius, a 1:43.8. Because of that skipping issue as well. So keep an eye on that little battle. So we just keep tabs on this Evil Evo Race Fan battle. CP Motorsports versus the new kids on the block at Doghouse.
Young Wakey, since he's come out of the pits, lap times. 41.8, 41.6, 42.3. Okay, bit of a moment there. 41.666, 41.646.
Wow. That is as consistent as you can get.
Yeah, the devil's numbers on lap 20.
Those are crazy laps for like the times for how far in we are right now.
He's nearly gone wide at turn 13. It's reassuring for the rest of us to know. It's reassuring for the rest of us to know that even the best get caught out by that.
He's human. Anyway, guys, start thinking about your driver of the days. We're going to have to, I reckon, come up with a driver of the season in terms of the entire Sector 1 field at some stage as well. Who's been the absolute standout, and you can make a case for Young Wakey, that's for sure.
Oh, Pat Star is right on the rear wing of Stickers coming onto the main straight here. You could be all on at turn 1.
He's really he's pushing at the moment. Looks like Stickers has just got a little bit of a higher downforce, a lower downforce setup, sorry. He's actually increasing the gap on the straight, so it seems like Pat Star is able to make his time on the corners. You can tell, look at the exit that Pat Star is getting out of turn 1 there. It's looking very strong. He's going to go around the outside. Surely not. Stickers goes defensive. Oh! Comes across. There's a more contact. That wasn't Morse code.
I don't know about that. Having a driver swerve in front of you right in the braking zone. I'm not sure there was much at fault there for Pat Star.
No, there's nothing you can do there.
And we know what Stickers is like. He's one of the most... He's so hard to pass because his defense, he is not afraid to get the elbows out. It's like watching Wide Hips V2.0 at work here. And look at that. Stickers goes very defensive. Pat Star just cannot find a way through.
That was a bit smoother there.
Yeah, Pat Star does have tyre advantage.
And a fuel advantage as well.
Oh, Jono's gone wide. Evil.
Oh, evil-evo has gone wide. And he has rescued it. But the real battle at this point is Stickers versus Pat Star. And if I'm Pat Star, you've got time on your side still.
There's a great corner speed through there on Pat Star's part.
He looks like he's got a higher downforce setup compared to Stickers, and he's just giving him so much confidence in the corners. The Stickers, you can just tell. We're on board now with the Bacchus Mast. Oh, dear God. As Pat Star's going to go around the outside, surely not. Stickers takes that defensive line. Pat Star around the outside. Pat Star's all over the back of Stickers at this point. That's another Dad House versus Dog House battle.
Dad House?
Yeah, where did I come up with that? Oh, I can't wait for the season to end. Anyway!
I think they call it Dad's Dogs.
This is a great battle at the moment. And, Planocious just had a little bit of a slip behind. He's actually dropping time back to D-Flow. D-Flow's actually ripped out 0.6 of a second on him in that gap. And then you've got another big battle between Freelix and Cruisin'. And another big battle between Old Wakey and Black Project. So plenty of battles up and down the field. Young Wakey, 7.3 seconds clear. Race Fans, 2.5 clear of evil-evo. Got that big moment. And then it's back to this absolute slobber knocker of a battle between Stickers and Pat Star. As they enter the snake. Oh, Stickers has a bit of oversteer. Pat Star thought about it a little bit. Just showed the nose.
Smart move there, Pat Star. That's not the place to try a pass. Even if the guy in front of you has a little moment. He's made the intelligent move there to just slow the car up a bit. Live to fight another day.
It looks like that Stickers just is seriously struggling with that rear end, whereas Pat Star has a bucket load of confidence. But then once he gets onto the front straight, he's right in the toe. Will Pat Star go to the outside again? He does. Stickers covers. Pat Star brakes very hard. Pulls the car up nicely. Uses the exit. A little bit of off camber on the corner there, so he's able to pull the car up a lot straighter and actually get a better exit. Oh, Stickers. There's a little bit of contact there between the two. There's still a bit more rubbing going on at the moment. This is great battles between these two, Stickers and Pat Star. Pat Star trying everything in the book at this point.
He's definitely applying the blowtorch here. That's a lot of pressure to be under.
I was about to say, it's not the blowtorch, it's a full-blown frame thrower at this point. As they go up to I don't even know. On the outside, Pat Star thinks about it. Stickers covers. A little bit more Morse code. You can see the bumps and bruises at the rear of the Datsun Racing Aston Martin.
It's probably lucky it's last round. The Stranger would have a bit of painting work to do this week otherwise.
Look how much pace Pat Star takes through the snake. Stickers has to pull it up, and Pat Star's, he's half considering a move on these guys. And these guys have got to be careful because they're actually starting to lose a bit of time out to Lenocious, who's still got time on his side to join this battle.
evil-evo's managed to get back within 8/10 of Race Fan. That gap was out to 2 and a bit seconds only a lap and a half ago. Maybe Race Fan's, well, the gap between Wacky and Race Fan's now out to 9 seconds. So I think Race Fan might have had a little bit of a moment.
1:42.6 last lap. So, and then evil-evo set a 1:41.2. So there's a second and a half right there.
Which is his personal best lap for the race, mind you.
Yeah.
So,
And Evil's done a good job with his tyres and fuel as well, so he's in there for the end.
Oh, this battle with Freelix and Cruising and Old Wakey at this moment. So Old Wakey's been able to pass Black Project. He's caught up to the back of these two, and make no bones about it, they're throwing the kitchen sink at each other.
Oh, there's a bit of a touch going into the braking of I don't even know.
So the battle for the podium is on.
I didn't see enough of that battle to of that incident to make any comment.
There's so many battles up and down the
dogs on tiles.
There's so many battles up and down the field. It's so hard to keep an eye on what's going on. There's 4 different sets of battles going on. You got the Stickers and Pat Star battle. Then you got this battle between Race Fan and evil-evo. The gaps are dramatically reduced in that one. And then you've got this rear of grid battle where these guys are just still throwing absolute haymakers at each other. Group B producing the goods once again.
Just quietly deflows within 2 seconds of Lenosis as well.
Yeah, D-Flow's done a fantastic job to rip more time out of that. Although the glitch...
And they are near on identical for fuel and tyres, so it's game on.
Yeah, I'd be keeping an eye on D-Flow for sure, especially if Stickers and Pat Star get a bit cute again. This is the battle at the moment. evil-evo's got a little bit of oversteer. That car looks very dialed in at this point of the race, though. CP Motorsports versus Doghouse. Doghouse really throwing haymakers at people at the moment because Pat Star is still throwing them at Stickers.
And lap 27, so 2.5 to go.
Yeah, I'd say 2.5 more laps.
Maybe then.
4 minutes and 5 seconds to go.
And Lenocious could be in a little bit of trouble here as well because D-Flow, that gap is under 2 seconds now. And look at
this lap and 2 more for the most of the field, I'd imagine.
Look at the last lap for D-Flow there, a 1:41.7. And last lap, Lenocious set a 1:41.5. So these guys are well and truly on pace, and yet D-Flow is still starting to make moves. As speaking of making moves, the gap between Stickers and Pat Star has closed right up. But so is the gap between evil-evo and Race Fan.
Who do you want to watch? I'll keep an eye on the other one.
I don't even know at this point.
No, that was I don't even that corner.
The battles between these guys at the moment are just on a whole different level. It's so hard to keep tabs on them.
Main straight.
evil-evo's going to make the move.
Big look. He goes on the outside. Can he get it done though? They go into the braking zone. Race Fan goes a little bit defensive. They're still side by side as they go through turn 1. This is great racing. Race Fan holding on.
That's great awareness there from both drivers, leaving each other just enough room.
evil-evo uses a bit more of the inside. Pat Star and Stickers is going on as well. Pat Star had a big look into turn 1, but it didn't happen. Stickers holds on.
evil-evo is hugging the inside towards the church.
And he gets it on. But can he pull
goes
up?
a bit deep.
Oh, he's going to scrape the wall.
Race Fan is a little bit low, well, quite a fair bit lower on fuel than evil-evo, so he may not, even though there's not that much to go, he may have to back off.
Yeah, I think if he's in a fuel compromise mode, then he's in a losing battle. Stay into, I don't even know. I don't even know how this battle will end, to be honest, but this has been a great battle. As they enter the snake now, evil-evo thought about it. He's still thinking about it. And they both go wide!
Stickers is now on the fuel light.
Oh dear boy. And look who's just behind them. The gap is slashed by a second.
There is now 8 tenths between Lenosis and Deflo.
The fastest one out of those guys right now, out of the Stickers and Stickers to Deflo, has to be Deflo, easily. But the gap between Racefan and evil-evo now is out to 1.5 seconds. The gap between Stickers and Patstar, 8 tenths of a second. And now you've got another battle forming in the fact of Lenosis and Deflo here. And Lenosis, we know what he's going to be like. He'll be sweating bullets at this point. Deflo seems to have got his rhythm back. His pace is even quicker now. These two SLSs, possibly the final lap. They might go one more, we're not sure.
What's happened up the front there? evil-evo's back to P3 with a 1.4 second gap.
So he went wide at the Snake, and he was on the grass for a lot longer than Racefan was.
That'll do it. I was a little bit busy
This has
checking out.
been an epic race to watch. There's so many different places to look. 2 battles just on one straight just here. And this battle has been raging for the best part of 10 minutes, this Stickers and Patstar battle. Patstar, I don't think he's going to care anymore. I think he's going to throw the absolute bombs. And then even further back, you've got this battle between Cruisin and Old Wakey still happening as well.
I'm just doing the mental math. There's 20 seconds to go in the timer. Stickers is...
Oh,
Patstar sends it!
Patstar sent it all right. You got it done. Great move. See if we can get that on a replay.
It's going to go 30 laps for young Wakey at least.
That's insane.
Yeah.
I think Patstar and Stickers are going to be lucky and finish on this lap.
What a move that was by Patstar, though. And look at the gap between Lenosis and Stickers now. It's 1.8 seconds. As Racefan crosses P2, evil-evo will take P3. But this is going to be a straight-up drag race now between Patstar and Stickers. Look at this. Stickers just throws it into the head kink. This is going to be a drag race, all right, Stickers and Patstar. Look how close it is. Oh, what a finish. Lenosis takes P6. Deflo takes P7. Freelix is going to be finishing P8. What a drive. And then you've got another drag race behind you with Old Wakey, Cruisin and Black Project. Black Project will finish 9th. Cruisin 10th. 11th will be Old Wakey. But back up the front on a look at me lap as he comes to I have no idea. Actually, it's I don't even know, but at the start of the season, we didn't even know who would be a championship contender in this group. Such was the quality, such was how close it was going to be. And this man, actually this boy, stood up, the second youngest man in Sector 1. He has absolutely thrown the kitchen sink of this season. He has been an absolute masterclass. And if you're in Division 1 right now, you are going to be very, very concerned because this guy is only going to get faster. As he enters the final turn now, he will be the Division 2 champion. Young Wakey for Locked Up Motorsports. Congratulations. What an incredible achievement. And Locked Up Motorsports in their first season will be a Drivers' Championship winning team. What a phenomenal race. What a phenomenal group. What a phenomenal season of Sector 1 Sim Racing. And congratulations goes to every single driver involved. That was absolutely fantastic racing this year. And especially tonight, this race.
It
Battles.
was looking like it was going to be a little bit of a blowout there for a while in the middle point of that race, but then the last 15 minutes, what a way to end the season.
As young Wakey there, you can see him celebrating. He has won the championship. Where do you start with that one? That had battles left, right and centre. I couldn't even keep my breath for about 30 seconds. I've been sitting here for 25 minutes trying to get a drink. Jeez whiz. Guys, driver of the day, drop it in the chat. That is... I'm speechless. Whoa.
My driver of the day is fairly easy. Patstar. What a sensational effort.
Yep. I have to agree as well. Patstar, absolutely surprise packet tonight for me, to be honest. He qualified very, very well and then finished up in P4 You did a great job, and he'll be very, very proud of that one. Battled with Stickers as well, who was no easy feat to get past. Wow, that is just phenomenal. And part of me wanted it to give it to D-Flow as well, because D-Flow drove a blinder of a race. He give him another lap, and I can guarantee you right now, he probably would have got 6, because Lenocious' pace was was a bit difficult to keep D-Flow at bay. So I'm just going to try and see if I can tune into the racing cars like Legends boys after that effort. D-Flow or Cruisin', are you there?
Hello, sir.
How are you
going?
feeling? Yeah, good.
Yeah. Look, it was good fun, but made too many mistakes. So I think that was the old dusting out the cobwebs sort of scenario after being out of the sim for so long.
Yeah, race rust is the best way, I'd say.
Yeah, that's it. But otherwise, good fun.
Yep, and Cruisin', are you there, buddy?
Yeah, I'm here.
How did you feel about that one? You have fun?
Bit disappointing. I had the pace, but then just after that incident, just rattled me a bit.
Yeah, no, and those things happen as well. Like it's happened over the course of the season, and some guys have copped it. Some guys have been able to drive through it. Some guys have just not dealt with it at all in terms of Wakey and Distinct Andrews in their dominance. So no, that was fantastic. So just looking at the chat now. Oh, you go, Chris.
I almost got my qualifying position back, but I was fuel compromised.
Yeah, I've seen this round. A lot of the heavy, big cars were fuel compromised for sure, especially the Corvettes. So looking forward to burning mine. I will leave it there. But looking at the chat now, the prospector Dadson himself says, wow, what a race. Killer on the Loose says, driver of the day, Young Wakey, no challenge. Driver of the day, evil-evoIX from The Stranger. Driver of the day, Pat Star as well from Dadson. So guys in chat, fire here in your drivers of the day. Smash the like button as well on the stream. Don't forget to subscribe. And of course, if you haven't subscribed, make sure you do. We do know there are quite a few people that have watched Sector 1 that haven't subscribed. And it'd be fantastic if you jumped in and have got involved. So I'm just not sure who just entered the comps box there. Who was it that entered the comps box?
That would be young Lenosis.
Ah, Lenocious. The luscious tones of Lockie. Is he on the mic?
Hi.
Oh, yeah, there he is. that was the most basic hi we've ever heard. How'd you feel about that one, buddy?
Gonna be honest, it was a little bit disappointing with the game doing its sweat-inducing shenanigans. I'm sure you guys can guess.
I did see. I was riding on board with you when you went from 3.5 seconds behind to 5.5 seconds behind.
Yeah, it happened 4 times, which isn't ideal, but I mean, had a good race and was enjoyable. So aside from Gran Turismo doing Gran Turismo things, was a good race. Everyone kept it clean. Don't think I saw any contact. It was a mega race from everybody involved, and yeah, just thanks for the season, everybody. It was an incredible season.
Yeah.
Div 2, absolutely. Just splinters separate everybody in qualifying every single race this season. It's just incredible. Got a good bunch of competitive lads here, and yeah,
all right.
Come out here every second week and have some fun.
I think we might wrap up the stream a bit quick tonight, but first and foremost, I do want to mention next week's event, the Sector 1 Awards. So everybody, bring your ties, bring your suits, bring your mankinis, bring your whatnot. We're going to celebrate the season that was. We're going to do a fun 10-minute race in the Toyota 86s. We are bringing them back, and we are going to a track that we haven't used before in Sector 1 history as far as I'm aware, Broadbean Raceway, which is going to be fun, actually. Looking very much forward to that. And then we are going to do the... we're going to do the Sylvia's Justice with the touring cars, and each team is going to be represented on the grid. So the guys at Doghouse, I think, might need to make a livery for their S15 Sylvia, or they might have one. I'm not too sure, but looking very much forward to that. It'll be a 30-minute race, 10-minute qualifying, just like the old BMW M3 Challenge days. Same fuel, same tyres. But we are going to let the... I think we're going to let the drivers do a track vote. So we're probably going to put that poll up very soon. I'm looking very much forward to Sunday night. It's going to be an absolute celebration. A little bit of light-hearted, relaxing night. So I'm looking very much forward to that. Guys in chat, guys in our chat now, the comments box. Any last words, guys?
Well, look, probably a bit weird for me, I guess. I've never spent so much away from the race seat, so it's probably been a bit distant. But with that being said, when I have been racing, it's been great. You know, I've been in a good... Div 2 is actually very, very close. I remember last round I raced at Autopolis, it was ridiculously close. Had a good battle with Lenosis, Stickers, and co. So, big thanks to everyone that's been involved this season. Appreciate it. Really, really appreciate your work and everything that goes on behind the scenes.
Here. Carbon Boy, Guru, Lenosis, any words? Cruising?
Negative.
Yeah, no.
I just think what a great season. The professionalism and respect across all the divisions has just been outstanding. And yeah, tonight's race both rounds were testament to it. You know, the race management. You could have given out 3 driver of the days for both those races. Just so close.
Speaking of the driver of the days, we've only got 3 in at the moment, and they're all not. They're all different people. So I think ours will all come into account. So we'll wait and see. But I think I'll wrap it up here. So first and foremost, a massive thank you goes to our partners: On Point Profiling, Go Kanka Car Accessories, Auto One, Next Level Racing for their continued support of this fantastic league we call home. We're looking very much forward to continuing the partnerships for next season and beyond. So big things coming for sure. They're already in the works. Everything's getting worked on. A massive thank you, first of all, as well, goes to everyone behind the scenes this season, past or present, that have helped out. Especially early on in the season, Filthy with the graphics. They look fantastic. And Lenosia stepping up as well with the graphics. They look very, very sharp indeed. Big thank you to all the race directors, the stewards especially, led by D-Flow, and who else am I the Livery Lord team, of course. They put on these amazing liveries for us to race in, and their work is just stepping up season by season. It's incredible stuff. Team owners for, gathering their teams up and just being able to give us a fun, fair, competitive environment. A massive thank you as well to the drivers, every single driver that has raced in any form of Sector 1 over the last, this and the Sylvia season. Gran Turismo has really kicked us in the teeth a bit, but we've come out the other side with some fantastic racing. So very much looking forward to seeing all new and present drivers on the track. And to anyone that is departing, we bid you farewell. More than welcome to pop on back, and don't be strangers. Come into the Discord and say g'day. And last of all, thank you to every single person that has watched our streams, subscribed, liked, kept on keeping an eye on us with our YouTube channel, with our Facebook, our socials. Without you guys, this league doesn't run. You guys make it what it is, and yeah, we're looking very much forward to throwing the kitchen sink at Season 7. So stay tuned. We are going to tune into the Sector 1 Awards next week. This is Karen, a.k.a. Brent, signing off. And as always... Oh, for God's sake, I've done it again. Anyway, have a good night, guys.